And we live! What's good, everybody? It's Game Talk. I'm Gangster. I'm here with Brimstone. I'm here with Brimstone.
I was waving at the. I waved at the camera. Like,
RevTech.
The silence.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
My boy Blue.
Hi, Sockeyes best girl.
Metro, but I don't think he's currently here at the moment.
Well, the
And
answer is hi,
Rambo.
Sockeyes best
put your
girl.
brother up with the go. Yeah,
What
thank
is
you.
up? How's everybody doing today?
Doing all right, man. Got my silver one going. Counter Strike.
Don't worry, I'm there if you had silver one too, Brim.
We got this, Blue. We'll get out the silver gutters.
We'll climb together.
Yep.
Right on.
Just get good,
So-
lol.
Anybody playing any new games? I guess Blue and them have been doing
The Counter Strike.
Go,
Counter-Strike
baby.
Go, the inferior version of Counter-Strike.
It's okay to have the
Right?
wrong opinion.
Right?
Source is so much better. It's so much
That's why
better.
no one plays it, right?
Hey Pete, you want to play some Source later?
I'd be down if there's a server
only-
up, yeah.
There's only 2 gigs you have to download, you know?
I think I still have it installed.
You know the superior game?
I mean, sure, you can
1.6.
tell
If you want to
yourself
talk about
that.
superiority, 1.6 was pretty damn good.
Yeah, that
What's
too.
up, JC? Yeah, I really would have liked 1.6 in Source because I like how a lot of the weapons worked in 1.6. Like the shotgun was so much better in 1.6 compared to Source. I think they
Because it was a shotgun.
Well, like, if you were skilled with it, because you could, like, be sidestepping, you take your finger off the sidestep button, wait like a half a second, fire, and you'd get pretty good accuracy, and then you could hit it again and keep moving. And if you were really good with it, you could do some crazy shit with it. But they fucked that in Source. Like, your accuracy was always garbage with it if you had been moving at all for, like, a whole second or two.
I mean, my favorite sniper in Counter Strike is the Nova, but that's just my opinion on the matter.
The Nova. That damn gun shot me like halfway across the map, bro. I'm
So,
still salty over that.
Valorant still haven't gotten a key for it. Probably never will
I
get
actually
a key
just
for
got
it
one.
ever. Whoa.
Yeah,
you
I got
did?
mine. I got mine
How much you want
yesterday.
for it?
Lucky bastard.
How much you want
Come
for
on.
it?
How much do you
I-
want
I-
for it?
I'm
Or you
not
banned
selling.
me?
200.
Yeah,
Key
because
for what?
Valorant, the new
How much you want for it?
the League of Legends developers hero
Beta
shooter.
Counter Strike clone.
Yeah. Well, I mean Counter-Strike / Overwatch. It's kind of a mix between the two.
Yeah, but how much
So-
you want for the code, though, seriously?
Yeah, no, not happening, bro. Woo, double kill.
So
But,
how many doll hairs do you want?
I'll literally pay you $40 for that code.
Yeah, that's how you get banned, by the way.
No one has to know.
Well, we're announcing it on
Yeah, I
Don't see
don't
it.
think you're gonna
So you
sneak
just
it by
married
'em,
yourself.
bro.
You played yourself?
But yeah, no, I actually wanna try it. Not that I
How'd you
know
get
I'm
a
not
code?
gonna like it.
Did you like which guy did you pray to?
Well, you have to watch a stream for 2 hours. and then
Sir,
you get
I
put in
am
a
the
queue.
god. So, you know.
That's not a natural answer. No, you're not.
I'm
Dude,
just gonna wait
keep
till open beta.
just keep a stream up.
I'm just
in
gonna
the
wait for the
background.
open beta.
I did.
We'll keep doing it. You'll get a code eventually. You know, I just kept a stream up in the background.
Like I said in the night owl, like I said, they should have done this in waves. It would have been better.
Yeah, probably.
Or just on an open beta.
Here's the thing though, right? Because I think there's a thing about Twitch where if you have the stream muted in
Where-
Twitch,
Little house.
it
Yeah.
doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. You have to mute the tab for it to count.
Yeah, so you don't mute the stream in Twitch, you mute the tab in your browser. So that might be
I don't
why
know that.
you haven't gotten it yet if you've been muting the stream.
Yeah,
So,
and I had Pokimane stream on 4 different devices going on all at all times.
see, I don't think that'll help though because it's based on the account, so I think it still counts you as only one because
And loud and proud. So there you go.
oh, you cocksucker.
Why would you
I
do
just
Pokimane,
I
though?
just gave up on the matter.
But
I mean, I'm
yeah,
not that
so
worried
probably in
about
the next
Valorant,
few
especially
days
with the
I'll
whole
be
beta code, not beta code, but the whole software situation with the anti-cheat
with
software.
Vanguard.
That's the thing. I'm not going to be playing it, and one of the big reasons is, I mean, not like I won't play it once or anything, but I'm not going to be playing it for real because, yeah, I do not agree with that fucking anti-cheat bullshit.
Does it interfere with Counter-Strike?
What?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna say it interfered with Counter-Strike before.
Oh no! Well, no, there are
People
now
have reported that.
yeah,
it
there
is
are now
severe.
reports that the anti-cheat. I mean, it's not really
it's
separate
going,
software,
it's going
but
into
yeah, it's messing with people with other games that people have and causing lag and stuff, which I could totally see because it's
I'm not.
it's a
Fuck that,
rootkit.
dude.
I'll stick to
So-
CS:GO. Yeah.
Yeah, there's I'll play Overwatch as much as I'm not a fan of Overwatch lately. It's still fun to play, especially when you got a team. So
Here's the thing, though. I think they said something about you could manually remove Vanguard if you deleted it, but I'm like, at that point, what is the point of having it then? Why download?
well, no, you can't play the game without the thing running. Like that's not possible. But you can.
There was something you could delete to fix it or something.
Got it.
Somebody was saying
You
that.
can either uninstall it, like the whole game, or you can rename the file. So you rename the file, restart your computer, and then it can't run because the file is not the right
Blimey.
name. But either
Yeah.
way, you got to restart your computer every time that you do that, because in order for the game to recognize it, it has to run when the computer starts. So that's the big bitch of it.
I'm a lazy person. That sounds like a lot of extra work.
It is.
So.
It's a bunch of extra work and it's a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, which is why, like I said, I'm not gonna be playing this game for real because I'm just not gonna be dealing with that bullshit.
I mean, if this game could run on any computer, I probably could just play it on my laptop.
But
Well,
Well,
I
they
mean,
did. They
I
did
don't know.
state they wanted on everything eventually.
Yeah, they're even talking about going mobile and shit already. I was like, Jesus.
damn.
I'll play it on my laptop.
One
then.
thing at
They-
a time, guys.
They got a pretty much a good player base technically right now going on for it.
Yeah,
if
this
they
game
fix
will
the
succeed.
Vanguard system, I'd be happy.
even with the dumb Vanguard shit, this game will succeed, make money, and be really popular.
Yeah.
Like this game's already in the door popular. It's like Overwatch. Like Overwatch was popular while it was in beta. So
Yeah, but Overwatch is way better of a game though.
you haven't played the game, so you can't really say that for certain.
I can. I can.
No, you can't.
Over-
That's fine.
Overwatch
So
is like the
is
most
Vanguard-
polished
So
hero
Vanguard's
shooter.
here to stay, huh? They're not gonna work on it more.
I just don't get what's the problem. Why can't they have it just only run when the game's playing? Like, what's the actual problem with doing that?
Well, there are technical reasons for doing it that way, but
Then there are
The
cheap.
game from these problems
Oh,
they did state
fuck.
they were.
all right, hang
Oh,
on,
okay.
stream. This shit ain't working properly, so give me 1 sec. I'll restart the stream.
Riot was coming for you. Like, yo,
I know I wasn't pressing push talk. I don't care.
All right, that should be it. Let's make sure the stream is back up.
On my end, it looks like it's back up.
Yep, excellent connection, all that good. Okay. Well, yeah, maybe fucking Comcast is still being stupid. So,
Comcast is working with Riot Games to go after you.
yep, to censor me. Yep.
They're
It is
kinda
still-
dangerous.
I'll try it out when it comes out for open beta and full release. I'll try it out. I know everybody here is gonna try it out eventually.
I'm definitely gonna try it out. Like I'm
For
actually
sure.
looking forward to this game quite a bit.
Same.
I'll just play it on my laptop, but yeah, I'll try it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see the game being good enough to overcome the bullshit that they want. So,
Never say never.
Never say never on that one.
I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, that's why I said I just can't see it. Fuck.
What makes you can't see it though?
Because I can't, like, how good could it possibly be? I mean,
What if the
I
gunplay is super
wouldn't-
polished?
even if it was as good as Overwatch, I wouldn't accept that.
I don't think they're trying to. I don't think they're trying to be like Overwatch at all.
Well, no, but I just mean, like, comparatively, even if it was as good as Source or as, what, like my favorite games, I do not
I actually
approve of
think
what they're
I
doing
actually
with the.
consider it to be its own game, really.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, comparatively, even if, like, because if a game like Battlefield 4 or Overwatch or any of those, like, all of my favorite games, if any of them had this same bullshit where it had a fucking Ring Zero admin access app running constantly from the minute I started my computer, I would not be playing that game. Because I do not like that.
There's a lot of games that have really bad anti-cheat systems.
Sure,
though.
but they don't run when I start my computer and they don't have Ring Zero root access.
Shoddy.
So yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it being so good that I'm willing to overlook that. Because like I said, all of my favorite games, if they did that, I wouldn't have played them.
So you can imagine me good, but not good enough for you. You want to go overcome that.
So I mean, sure, it could be good. But like I said, all my favorite games of all time, man. Any of the Battlefield 3 or 4, 2142, all my favorite Call of Duties, Overwatch, just all of my favorite games. If any one of them had that shit, I would not have been playing that game.
I mean, Punkbuster, I had my own issues with Punkbuster when I was playing Battlefields.
Dude, Punkbuster and BattleEye were both some of the shit.
Yeah, man.
They were. But again, they were not nearly as bad as they didn't run when you started your computer, or at least technically they did, but you didn't have to. You could stop that in Windows and it wouldn't break the game.
Shot it.
You could go into services.
I thought if you stopped it, it wouldn't let you launch the game.
No. Because it was a service, right? So you could go into Windows services and change it from run when Windows starts to run when, I can't remember the exact designation, but there was a run when it's needed designation, and that would allow the game to work properly. As soon as the game started and it tried to access it, it would start up the Punkbuster app or service or whatever it was, and then it would run perfectly fine. So you could totally stop it from running when Windows stop it from running when Windows started, and it wouldn't break the game as long as you didn't just completely disable it. So, yeah, like I said, I understand that there are technical reasons for why they want it to run when Windows runs, but especially since it's not going to solve the problem completely, I just don't see the point, and that's too much power given to the app for me to accept. So, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Oh,
Got him.
Bruh. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to like tough it out to a degree, but not to a point where like my CPU's backdoor is at risk. Like I want to play it, I really do. But Punkbuster, as shitty as it is, or BattleEye, it didn't do those things,
Well, I think they'll square it out. I think if enough people complain, they'll square it out.
Got it.
Because they want a lot of people playing their game.
I think they're banking on most people either not caring or just not knowing. I don't see them going back on this. Like that's kind of a big step backwards to take. But yeah, we'll have to see. It'll be interesting. Like, I wish this hadn't been done from the beginning, because it would have been real interesting to see if the numbers changed significantly. Like if they started it with something like Punkbuster or BattleEye or Back, where it wasn't, this crazy shit, and then they changed it halfway.
I would have preferred it.
Yeah. But if they changed it halfway and then they lost a significant portion of the player base, like I'd be interested to know how many people would drop this game. Because we don't really know, because the people who aren't going to use it because of this, they're just not going to use it, and so we don't have a before and after to compare. I'd really like to see what that before and after would be. But it is what it is. What's up, Arrow?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'll play on my laptop. That's as far as I'll go.
Well, and there's a lot of people who are saying they're going to do They're gonna emulate
virtual.
Windows and Linux to do it.
They're gonna do a virtual machine, yeah.
Yeah, that's a solution. If you want to do
Can't
that.
I do like a virtual machine? Like if I got, because I have a terabyte hard drive, and I actually thought about doing that. Like
You could just run VirtualBox on your Windows PC and just run another Windows installation.
yeah, so I'd have to figure out how to set that shit up. Because if I have to, what I'll do is I'll figure out which one's my old terabyte hard drive, clear that because I think that's the one with all my old art on it. Just clear that because it's not used anymore. I have a backup drive, and then make that my virtual machine box. Because
Technically, if you're going through all that,
it dies.
if you're going through all that noise, then don't play the game. Then
That's
at that
the thing. Like for me, it's like to do all that just for one game. It's just like no, too much work. I'm not gonna do it.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
You know, it's like man, God, fuck you, Riot.
But I mean, it could have other uses, but we're not gonna talk about that here.
But I don't use it for any of those other uses though. I don't have to. So it'd be one thing if
Now,
I
is
ran
there-
Linux.
Is there anti-cheat? Like, is that their own thing?
Vanguard.
Vanguard is it?
Vanguard is their own thing,
proprietary
yeah.
stuff? Okay.
The only reason why I'm even worried about it is because I know who owns Riot, and China. No, they're not number
Yeah.
one.
Like Tencent and Riot's swearing
China
up and down that they're
#1.
not spying on their players. And it's like, yeah, okay, guys, I'm sorry, I don't trust
Like
you.
as much as I like COD Mobile, that's about as much access they get into my life through my
Well,
phone.
it's pretty big access, COD Mobile, so. Just
I know.
saying, Metro.
I know that's about as much access as they get. They just see how many noobs they kill. That's about it.
But
COD Remastered's not coming to. looks
yeah, so
like. I heard about that.
so it is up on PlayStation, I believe. They have
What?
That's what I
The
heard.
Modern Warfare 2?
yeah, the remaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bought
so-
that one, the campaign remastered.
It's up on PS4, but they are not bringing the multiplayer.
No,
And the
thank God.
reason they're saying is that they don't think the fans, the people who loved Modern Warfare 2 will like it because of the changes that were made.
That makes no sense.
You mean it made more balance? Do you mean more balance? Is that what
I-
people were mad about?
I don't know. They,
How about they just give
Hey,
it
look.
a chance?
Why didn't they
No,
stop putting it
because-
Did they
exclusive
get
to the
rid of-
PlayStation?
Did they get rid of one man army and
because the
everyone's mad about it
PlayStation's.
now?
We all have to admit the PlayStation is the master race. Like,
Oh yeah. Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
yep.
I
Obviously.
mean, I get to play COD Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Do y'all?
Well, no,
I
the
didn't buy it.
the remaster is on PC. There just won't
Oh,
be
never mind.
multiplayer.
Oh, well, that's
Jesus.
because they're gonna screw it. They would screw up multiplayer anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
they
see
would
it.
like
Well, it'd mess up Modern Warfare's multiplayers if they were splitting their, player
So
base.
they're cutting the game in half. Well, Activision, fuck yourselves. That's
I don't
what
know.
I'm saying.
I'm not gonna. I wanted to play the multiplayer. That was.
Well,
Yeah,
I want.
that's what I wanted to play.
I mean, technically, you could still get the multiplayer.
mean, if they're
you just
worried
go
about
on
splitting
Steam and buy the original version.
Well, but that's not the
If the-
remaster
is
though.
it- If they're worried about splitting the player base, you know what they could do? Just take all the guns and all the maps from
I thought that's what they were
MW2
gonna
and
do,
just
is
put
That's
in
what I thought they were
normal
gonna
multiplayer.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just merge it with regular Modern Warfare.
Like they already have what was that one map?
They have a decent engine to work with. Just keep updating the engine.
They already have no shit.
I
man.
thought it was gonna be an a la carte system. That's what I thought they were going for.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Now,
I got my
now
Ghost
they're
in
now they're
Modern Warfare.
now they're recanting on that. That's stupid. I feel like it's a Sony move, honestly, contract
Honestly,
wise.
I think Sony did some shit. They always do some fuck shit up.
did some what?
but-
Like
Well,
they're
that's
not the
the
ones who stopped them from making the multiplayer.
Well, not just that, but it's like if it was Sony, then why wouldn't the whole remaster be Sony exclusive only? Why would it just be the multiplayer?
Well, the multiplayer's not even on PlayStation.
Oh, it's not. I thought. It,
Not on Modern Warfare 2. No, it's just a campaign.
oh, interesting. So it's not.
I mean, when you
coming
go to buy the
anywhere.
game, when you go to buy the game, it says, instead of saying like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, it says Call of Duty.
Campaign.
The name of the game is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered.
Huh.
But it's only $29.99. So I mean, it's not even they're not even selling
Yeah.
it for.
It's not even like a full price thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, so I mean they're
and
they're
that's
not
the
bringing
thing.
the multiplayer at all.
They don't want to pull people from the Modern Warfare multiplayer, and I can see not wanting to do that.
Just add the maps and guns. Like, my God, guys.
Yeah, I can see
That's what I
that.
want, actually.
Just lump all that into the Modern
Well, I
Warfare.
mean, they already have some of the guns. 'Cause
Well, so, yeah,
they already
some
have
of it.
some of the maps. Like,
I mean, we have like what the version of Rust that was in Modern Warfare 2.
I mean, like I said before, I say remaster 1, 2, and 3 in
Or
the new
Dust, I mean.
engine. Release them
Doing
all
some
for 40 bucks.
checking. Okay, so reading this, so it was a Sony move. Reading from an article here, that the reason why they pulled the multiplayer.
What was like?
How
the
would it
thing
be?
that Sony
Yeah,
did,
how would it?
though?
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that because how would
That's
I
what
mean
I
how would
wanna know,
Sony
too.
have any? How would Sony have any power over them remastering
yeah,
the?
how would they have
Their,
ones to, like-
Because
especially
they're releasing, they're going to be releasing another bundle, Sony, which is going to come first to the PlayStation 4. Modern Warfare 3 is coming first to the PlayStation 4.
That's
And
still
then
doesn't
3
ex-
months
But how
later.
does that stop them?
I don't even see that. Yeah, that wouldn't affect the multiplayer of Modern Warfare 2.
yeah.
Because like with blue sets, just bring the guns and the maps. We already have some of the guns and the maps because I'm pretty sure like half the
We
guns
already
we
have
have now didn't
Rust,
exist.
we have-
Yeah, a lot of the guns and maps that we have right now didn't exist in original Modern Warfare. They were Modern Warfare 1 and 2 guns and maps combined.
And from what I'm reading from this article is that Sony requested them to pull the multiplayer due to development reasons, and also stated that that when it gets released, it'll be on Sony for the first 3 months.
So
of its
translation, let me make your wallets fat while you suck our dick.
I'm not. See, I don't even. That doesn't even make sense because I wouldn't see them. They didn't even do any of these
It didn't
exclusives
do-
like
it
they
didn't do
have with
really
that.
anything.
Well, this
With,
is coming. This is coming from.
What site are you looking at?
I'm looking at Dextro.com.
I don't ever pay attention to.
What YouTuber also too is
Oh,
big Call of Duty, that gets all the leaks.
Unless it's that Call of Duty Intel, that guy on Twitter. I mean,
What's up, Levon?
Whatever the case, it's still very stupid. Like, I don't.
It's
if
still
it's
stupid.
Sony or
It's
probably
Activision,
Intel.
stupid.
They should have
Intel.
just given us. They should have just
Well,
given
Intel,
us
of course,
more maps and more guns, or like maybe like at least if they would have like added more maps, more guns, like anyone who pre-ordered the campaign remastered could get those automatically, like get the guns at least automatically unlocked, and then like you don't get the maps unless you get the campaign. Maybe.
I have a question. How can so many people complain about like Activision screwing up like with microtransactions and all these things about these multiplayers, and then simultaneously complain that they don't bring the multiplayer to the like? Y'all are complaining for one thing, but then if they brought it and they screwed it up, then y'all would be on here complaining that they screwed it up.
Well, if they fucking like brought like a brand new multiplayer that divided the fan base, then I think there'd probably be more people complaining. My thing is,
Well, I mean,
feel,
but this
I feel
day
like
nobody's
with the
even gonna
engine
complain.
We have now is the best candidate to like merge more maps into it.
I don't know. I like the idea that they just brought the campaign over.
I do like the
that's
fact
all
that
I
they brought the
wanted.
campaign over.
I
but-
want the campaign for the first 3 remastered in the new engine. Like, that's all I would want. 'Cause
That's
I love
what
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's what they're
the-
doing.
I mean, that's what they're doing. Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for the big bundle. Like, I want a big bundle for like $40. That'd be great.
That's
So-
understandable.
You know, and that's because I love the Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare's multiplayer. So
I like the Modern Warfare. I like the Modern Warfare campaign series, like the
the new one.
campaign. Well, I mean,
Well,
yeah, all of them remastered. I like the the Call of Duty, the very first Call of Duty. Whenever they just remastered the actual first one,
right.
and then the second one, I like the actual campaigns of the Modern Warfare series.
Yeah.
Modern
those-
Warfare and Black Ops were always my two best.
Oh yeah, some of my
campaigns.
favorites. Yep. Definitely. So, You know, I mean, some people are pissed. I can understand that, but I like this decision better. Like I said, because I love the new Modern Warfare multiplayer, and the campaigns are what I would want from the remasters. So
I just put
And
the
I would
guns and
bet-
maps. Like I don't get what's the problem. Why can't we have guns and maps?
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
like,
I would imagine you're going to eventually see that coming into the new Modern Warfare.
probably, yeah.
I would hope so, but knowing that both Activision
Because
Or at
seems-
least the
Well, it seems like
selection
they're
of
going to
them.
keep this one going for a while. Like
Yeah,
this,
I don't
it
know about
doesn't
that.
seem like
They're
this
talking
one.
about
Okay,
releasing new Call
so
of
from
Duty.
the leak, okay, so this is from a top tier Call of Duty known leaker, the Game Revolution, and I'll read part of this. This is on the Intel site. Rumor Modern Warfare 2 fully being re-released to players on March 31st. And the update is Game Revolution. So multiplayer is in the works, but will be on PlayStation first for the first month or two. Then it'll be released to everything else.
I just think that part might be wrong because I don't see them doing that.
I feel like they shouldn't make another multiplayer. They should just merge it with the current Modern Warfare.
And
It's
they
the same,
said,
right?
and the leaker is stating that to known leaker, that's been correct on everything so far, saying the maps will be included in the multiplayer of Modern Warfare, the one we have now.
So
See, that's what I would suggest.
And
'Cause you don't wanna...
gunfight is coming to Warzone as well.
Okay, yeah.
The mode.
See,
yeah.
see, I
I'm
mean,
down for
yeah,
that.
seems-
But the thing is are they gonna make they're gonna add the maps in Modern Warfare and then have their own mode in the individual?
So
like,
it'll
other
be
games?
separate.
Or-
So if you already own the game, right, Modern Warfare regular, right, this one, right, we're playing, you get the campaign for $15. If you don't, you pay $30.
Okay.
And if you want the maps, they will be automatically for free included in an update.
Hey, fair enough.
to
Okay,
everybody.
wait.
Okay.
You get
That's
okay.
what I
Wait,
wanted.
if you own that, if you own the new Modern Warfare, you get what for $15?
The
You get the
campaign.
campaign.
The campaign for 2.
Yeah, you get a discounted $15 off.
Well,
I
I should have got a discount because I did mine for 20.
yeah,
bucks on Xbox.
not according
And
to
I preloaded.
Yeah, because I own all the Call of Duties and I still had to pay $30 for the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered campaign.
Yeah, I
'Cause
had to
when-
preload for $20.
Maybe that's
Well,
only
when
on
I-
PC.
Well, see,
Because
that would-
my version.
That would be weird. That would be weird considering the fact that PlayStation has like
Because on
the
Blizzard,
rights
it
with
told me-
Call of Duty.
It told me on Blizzard that because I already owned Modern Warfare, I only have to pay $15 for it.
Yeah, that might be because it's through the Activision
Through their,
Blizzard
yeah,
store.
it's like their own sale probably.
Yeah. Which
Like it's their own
that's-
in-house sale.
That's kind of unfortunate.
It's kind of stupid. They should have been across the board.
Oh,
I shouldn't have had to
it
pay.
might be
I
an
shouldn't have to.
it might be
pay
an
$20.
implementation thing though, because like through the Activision Blizzard store, they know exactly who's got everything and what, and it
Yeah.
might be.
Oh yeah, that's true. They can't.
might be
They
a little-
can't detect it on.
Well,
on,
that and they're trying their best to direct
Push everybody.
everybody on
Yeah.
PC toward push everybody towards that. So I mean that's probably just like a incentive to get more people to come to that.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
maybe they'll
this-
extend it
this one
eventually.
Right now already runs pretty good, which is better than Black Ops 4.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God, Black Ops 4, man.
Whatever they did to Black Ops 4, they unfucked it for this one.
Well, it pissed me off with the Black Ops 4 whenever they didn't do a damn campaign. Like, how do you make a Black Ops without? I mean, that's like one of the
They had
best
a-
parts of the Black Ops.
They had a
Damn.
mediocre multiplayer though.
Yeah.
We lost by 5. Good game though. Blue, are you gonna join us?
I'm in your game. Oh my god.
Oh, are you really?
I think I was supposed to join you guys. I was
Oh
waiting
yeah,
for
that's
you guys to
Metro supposed to join. Yeah.
I was
So
waiting
where
for you guys
at,
to
Metro?
finish.
All right.
I got more kills than you, Pete.
You guys need to back out of the lobby.
Pete with those 20
Oh, and
kills.
Activision's also talking about pulling in the when they release the campaign. They're talking about pulling No Russia completely.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
No, keep no Russian, dude.
Wait a minute. The no Russians in the. I don't understand like where you're getting your
Why-
news because no
why they-
Russian is in it.
Yeah, I saw a PlayStation user. play
Yeah,
no
there's
Russian.
talking now. Activision's talking about pulling it with an update when they release the game.
No,
It's
that's
released.
like that. It's already released on PlayStation. It exists. It needs to stay.
I mean, does that
it's
mean
also a staple mission.
how
that
are they
everyone
gonna
likes.
how are they gonna pull the? My question is, how would they pull a mission that's already installed on my hard drive unless I would have to then uninstall the game
and then
reinstall a
re-download
new client. Yeah.
Well, no,
Hopefully-
And how would they-
an update can delete files.
That's according to GameSpot.
Well, yeah, but how would they
well-
even be able to do that? Well, no, I think GameSpot wants them to. Like these
Some of these sites.
Well,
yeah,
if you want to
That's
call
more
them,
reality
if you
than
want to
what's the
call them
actual-
journos,
you mean
If
if you want to call them journos, they want no
I call them-
Russian pulled because they think it's too problematic.
Yeah, because they
Right.
think it doesn't fit in today's market. But here's the thing: nobody cares
No, nobody cares.
because no
Well, no,
Russian.
but they do.
no
They're,
Russian
but you
does
understand
it.
it ain't about the Russian. It's about just the fact that you can you
Kill
can
civilians.
you have
You
the
can go
choice of mowing down.
Yeah, you can go in the
civilians.
airport and mow down Americans. But like everyone loves that mission because it was a change of pace. You were always shooting.
Right, but
You know, you were
you
always
have
shooting
to
someone
understand-
who wasn't the American. Now you are shooting the American. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of fucked
Okay,
up. But Call of Duty is
Well, no,
already
you-
fucked up.
But the whole reason they're doing it is not about that. I mean, it's about just virtue signaling, saying, "Look how great,
Yeah.
look how good I am." Like these journals, that's all they're doing. And
Yeah,
it won't
no.
be pulled because, like, you couldn't pull that mission and make the game make sense.
No, yeah,
Like that was the
because
interesting part of
the whole point of Modern Warfare 2 is no Russian mission is to set up why the fuck they need to go kill
Right.
this
Yeah,
dude. Like he's the
true.
terrorist. He went
Re-
into an airport and mowed down people. That's
Red,
the whole
And
point.
what a way to set that up, not just
What was that,
telling
Blue?
you
In
that
the
he
article
did these
here,
things.
where you get that quote, is that from is that an opinion piece or is that like an objective fact?
Activision is talking about pulling it. What an
Well, I'm
update.
keeping luckily I'm gonna keep my version of Modern Warfare 2 on Steam.
I'm just gonna get the Steam version and then play no Russian.
I mean, that's
I-
just stupid.
I
I don't
just
see
don't know
a
how to
point.
feel
Like,
about that.
They're
not
talking
pleasing
about two
anyone.
ways: either A, censoring certain things in that level, or
No.
with an option, or
Make it an
pulling
option
it
like they used
completely.
to.
It already
They used
had
to
an
be-
option.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
I'm
they had an
looking at
option where
Charlie-
like you can turn on or off sensitive content. It was in the original Modern Warfare 2. Just
Yeah, you could
enable that
choose to
again.
skip the mission if you really didn't want to
Just-
do it. It was
Just
right there in the
enable that
beginning.
again, and
Yeah.
everything is fine. Just do it the old way.
Yep.
You see, the problem is companies want to think for us
I don't
instead of letting
honestly.
us think for ourselves.
Honestly, I don't really honestly think that that's actually happening. I think somebody spoke with somebody that a low-level person, and they thought, well, we can just put Activision said or whatever. But because I mean, I look at Charlie Intel on Twitter is like the Call of Duty person, and he lets everybody know when things are coming or whatever. And I looked up Modern Warfare 2, and there's nothing on there about even talks about pulling that campaign or that mission.
Yeah, it
I would
could
hope not.
very
And-
well be just somebody who wants to do that, or yeah.
Yeah, they want to say they think these journals like they'll get somebody that say like maybe even cleans the floor at Activision. They'll be like, well, this person at Activision said, and they don't give the name.
Yeah, Activision's
But then
spokesperson is the janitor.
Yeah, and they keep putting that news out there in hopes that somebody at Activision will go, oh, these people really want this thing. They're trying to like kind of force these companies
Alright.
into their hand.
Alright, I
Yep.
don't know then what's real then.
The current state of journalism. Well, it's kind of really hard to tell with journalism these days. That's the
Right.
reason why I don't
No,
read
I mean
most
like
of
I
these
don't
sites.
just talk about them removing the Russian mission is just confusing the hell out of me because you guys are saying it's not, but then Revs reading an article saying they're thinking about it. Because
Well, that's journalism, man. It's
Well, the thing it
really-
says right now, one of the most iconic and controversial moments in a single-player game is back. Play no Russian mission again in Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered, out now on PS4. So I mean, there's nothing in there saying about removing it. I think that's just the journo's
It does
dream.
sound like some
Is
journal bullshit. Like, it just sounds like that. And here's the thing: it's like even if they wanted to, the fans would not have it. They would
yeah.
they
they'd
would
be
want
pissed.
refunds in masses for one level.
and
Yeah,
it says
they
though
would.
Activision. It says
The thing
Activision
is-
explains that. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing is like if they start with no Russian, right? What's to stop them from cutting other controversial missions from other Call of Duty?
Well, it would. I mean, it would happen with every game at that point. But I mean, they're not going to do it because you can't purchase the game or put it on. They would have to do it before, because you
Before it
purchased the
even came
game
out on PlayStation.
with that in there, and then they took it away from them. So therefore, they would actually owe like legally a bunch of refunds, and they would not want to go through that much losing that much money, especially Activision.
No. Because
But
that's
it
like
says, though-
that's like getting like recent example. That's like getting Doom, and then for the first
Having the
3
blood
weeks
taken out.
you get to murder
What
demons,
happened?
and then you get the blood taken out, or there are certain demons that are deemed offensive, and they get ripped out of the game, and now the game makes no sense because they're not in there
Well,
anymore.
it's so they didn't put the multiplayer because they didn't want to split the community, and they said the company plans to add more classic map experience to Modern Warfare instead.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
I'm
with
alright
that.
with
That's
that too.
definitely
Yeah,
what
and
I
then
want.
if you buy the game, you'll get access to like the classic Ghost bundle in the Modern
Yeah, I already
Warfare
got
and
that for
Warzone,
Xbox.
and so you'll get some bonus content in there.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's all perfectly acceptable
sir.
to me. I approve.
That is
What's
perfectly
up?
fine with me. That is exactly what I want.
What, Blue?
What, Blue?
I think he's dying on the inside.
Right?
Blue.
Blue, what's up?
Could you remove kill confirm next
Are
time?
you for real?
I hate this mode.
I love Kill
You suck,
Confirm,
Blue.
dude. I
You
think it's a
suck,
great
Blue.
mode.
No, this mode's boring. I'd rather play domination.
It
or
doesn't.
hardpoint.
It doesn't matter as long as the games are good, right?
Put your
End
hair,
of the
put some
day.
hair on your chest.
Yeah, as
and
long as
just
we're having
chill,
fun, dude.
dude.
That's all that matters.
That's
As long
fine,
as
Metro.
long
You
as the
can-
games come out with a good campaign, that's all that matters. And it's
I mean,
a
if
good
they
graphics
do
and
remove
quality.
no Russian, I'll just play the game on Steam. Like I have no qualms with that. I'd rather play it on there to be honest. But
Yeah, I like to play on IW4X. Have you guys tried that yet? It's Modern Warfare 2, but it's free.
Yeah, I have it, or at least I think I still have the files.
Servers are
Well, like
still
Rambo
going,
said,
and a
it
lot of
could.
people
It
are
just
still playing
the
it.
article could just be hearsay. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
like,
What I was
that's all.
reading.
not even. Well, it's possible it's
journalist.
not even like hearsay. It's like intentional hearsay. You know, where they find that well,
Probably.
like Rambo was saying,
That
where they
one
find that
friend
So
and
that
one
way they
guy.
can come back as a good guy, and they don't do the shit that they want to do.
Yeah, and
There's
if they
always
don't
that.
come back as a good guy, they just delete the article or archive it so you can't find it anymore, and you gotta
Right.
go on the way back and find it.
But
I mean, even as a whole thing, I don't even think the Russian level was even that big of a deal. Like I thought in Modern Warfare COD 4, the original, the AC-130 mission was way better and way more intense.
Most likely they'll do like they did with the 2009 one and just put a warning on it.
I mean, that's what they did in the original Modern Warfare 2. They had like, hey, we're about to show you some sensitive content, because I think No Russian was like what, the first mission?
yeah, very
No,
first.
Or-
it was
or
like
one
it was like
of the
It was
first?
no, it was the fourth mission.
Well, I
It's
know
pro-
when they first booted up the game, you started for a second, and then it was like, hey, there's some sensitive content in this game.
Right.
Would you like to enable it or disable it?
Right.
And that's the first thing they do before they even let you shoot the bullets.
If they didn't back down from all these journalists that were at E3, like talking about their exclusive look at
canceled,
the new Modern Warfare campaign, whenever they were talking about how problematic it was and they couldn't believe it. If they didn't cave to them, they're not going to cave to this No Russian thing. They're not going to give a shit.
You would
I
hope.
mean,
You never know, but yeah, you would hope.
You would
Well,
hope,
yeah, I
but
mean, you
like,
would figure like logic would say that since they didn't do it with Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare, they wouldn't do it with.
I
you know,
don't
this
see them
remaster.
doing it because the devs are talking about making this game like a mature talking war, blah blah blah. What the usual hearsay talk. So if I think they'll probably not touch No Russian. I really don't think they will. So
I don't think so either, but you never know, right?
They would have-
There's always a
Yeah,
chance.
they would have some serious backlash, but yeah, I mean, like you just with
I don't
the
think anyone
the
trusts
way
them in the Call of Duty community.
the way games the game devs are going these days, like you just never know.
Unfortunately,
I don't think they will. I am safely confident in that. I say confident in that.
You know, I mean, it's tough because there's been a bunch of stuff where you wouldn't believe that they would do whatever they did, and then they do. I'm trying to think of a couple of examples. I'd have to look back, but
Take a look at The Verge, man.
what?
Oh my god, this guy rocket launcher could die.
With their articles, take a look what they've done with their articles, trying to get people to, hype them up.
The Verge.
I didn't see. What did they do?
What is that? I'm sorry. What site is that?
It's a tech
Some-
website.
Sounds like whipped cream, you know.
The Verge is the ones responsible for putting out that horrible.
Yeah.
This is how you build your PC shit.
Yeah, them.
Yeah.
Oh, they made that video?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Putting a power
Dude,
supply in a
that's
direction that
my
can
And
graphics
show
card
then
ourselves.
then their CEO coming out going, guys, we're gonna just ban everybody, that talks about it. Off the
Guys,
site.
I'm gonna put my power supply in the middle of the PC. Just
I'm
in
gonna
the
call it
middle
a
of
brace. I'm gonna call it a brace.
I'm gonna put it my power supply in backwards and be like, look what the Verge made me do. I'm gonna sue them.
The Verge, tech journalist.
Off topic, you're into King of Fighters 13. Right on, man.
Never
What
heard
about
of that.
JC?
King of Fighters, bro. I need to play
King
that
of
again.
Fighters is dope.
Yeah, King of Fighters was pretty good. Oh,
I don't think I've played. I don't think I've played since the arcades.
Oh, that's funny.
Get
No,
the
it's, I don't play
taxes.
funny games, so
You don't play bad games.
that too. But no, I don't play funny games.
Hey, Pete, we were talking about that earlier. China's banning gamers
Yeah,
in
so-
chat.
China is now banning Chinese people from playing games with or chatting with anybody outside they call it the Great Firewall. But it's basically outside of the
Great
China.
Firewall.
Yeah, right. But it's basically outside of the Chinese network.
I'm all
So-
for that. China, you do your thing. I'm all for that now.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
get
that
the-
would
get the
eliminate a
fuck off
lot
my
of
servers.
hackers.
Bye, Felicia.
know.
Get the fuck off my servers.
Hey,
you
man, it
lagging
can't be
ass.
any worse than Ellie getting banged and, it cures the virus,
It's like I'll get him in trouble real quick if I even see them on the servers. I'll just spam
Ellie
Winnie the Pooh.
cures the virus with that. Remember that. She cures.
No. Hey, don't let you guys know you cure the
Every
virus by
time-
putting a blow dryer in your eye.
to make a cure in Last of Us 2, they have to make Ellie queef to make the cure.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go get cured by going to do some queef coke. Who wants to join in, dude?
Oh Jesus!
Let me just stick my dick in it and I'll be cured. It's all right.
Nope, it'll be all good.
Everybody wants a ride.
Rev, that's some normie shit, dude. We don't do
I
that.
hear a
Come on,
train coming, boys. Choo choo.
Jesus.
Forget all you know. Just bust a nut. You'll cure it.
Although
Oh man, Dr.
speaking
Bustin'
of
that's
that,
gonna be there, dog. We cured for
was-
sure.
hang on, give me 1 second. I'll look up because I can't remember the guy's name.
I'm sorry, that vagina curing zombie disease is probably the best thing I've ever heard in my
do I
life.
not have it up?
There's
Damn it!
nothing better than that.
I can't remember the name, but the guy
So,
who voices Joel in The Last of Us 2 has told players to keep an open mind about the story, because if you go into it with a closed mind, you're not gonna like it. And
The
so,
fuck is
I
that
mean,
supposed to
that's
mean?
that's not exactly confirmation, but that's pretty heavily.
What's that even supposed to mean though?
Well, that's the thing. That's. I think he's talking about the rumors that the bad guys in The Last of Us 2 are gonna be a homophobic cult that kill her girlfriend.
We have a zombie apocalypse. That's a big problem. Oh wait,
Hey,
the gays are the problem.
Them gays are
That's
sucking
basically
too
the
much
villain. It's
dick
like-
while the apocalypse is going
So,
on.
Rambo, what do you think of the new PS5 DualSense controller, man? Since you like PlayStation, I was just wanting your comments on it. What do you think of it?
Rambo, you there?
I think he lagged out.
Oh, he's still there.
Oh, he's muted.
Yeah.
Probably some.
Probably
maybe
thinking
something
for
else will
family
happen.
shit.
Do what now?
There he
What
is.
do you think of
The,
the new?
DualSense-
yeah,
DualSense
the-
controller.
You mean the spider
Oh, I
controller?
love it.
Wow, really?
I love it. Yeah, it looks really good. I think.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
it looks interesting, but it also looks like a Roomba, like a square Roomba.
I don't like the shape. I think I like
See,
the
I like the
DualShock 3 and 4
I like that
shape.
it's different for sure.
I like the shape. The reason why I like the shape is because a lot of people were complaining about the DualShock 4 that like their hands it wasn't comfortable for them, but this is more of the size of like the Xbox type controller.
See, that's I
To where it's
specifically
the thick-
don't like the shape of the Xbox controller. I prefer the. I
I
wonder
love
if
it.
you'll be able to use a DualShock 4 with the PS5. I hope you will.
I
Well,
would
I think it's
imagine
cool.
you'd be able to.
Yeah,
'cause
I don't
would
see why you
imagine they
wouldn't
would
be
want
able
you
to.
You just
What?
wouldn't be able to use the obviously the upgraded features and
Right,
stuff.
the new, but like the new button, the share, not share,
yeah, the create or something like
creator
that.
The
button.
create
Yeah.
button, the revolutionary feature that
You
arc
know what?
laser
You know what
feed.
I think is cool? That it'll be able to detect your heart rate. Supposedly, what I was reading or listening on
What?
YouTube.
Oh no, it's not
No.
going to detect your. It doesn't have that.
I was
No.
gonna
That'd be
say
interesting
like
if they did
that
have a
seems kind of
sensor, dude.
weird.
It's gonna be able to
The
take you
dual
there too.
No, the dual sense is the filling. Like you'll be able to feel the rumble or the like if you're getting shot, you'll feel it in your hands. You know, as far as like that goes. And it also has like the. What was the
God,
other sense of it?
I
The-
hated that. I hated that rumble shit, dude. I hate that shit.
Well, this
dude.
is supposed
I
to
don't
be
mind the rumble
more.
stuff.
This isn't like rumble like to where like right now like if you get shot in Call of Duty or whatever, you'll feel like your whole controller vibrate. But this is more of like where you'll feel a dunk like
Here,
just one
here
single
you
shot.
go.
Like if you get shot one time, you'll
Maybe-
feel one shot.
I'll put it in
Maybe-
the I'll put it in the game talk for you guys.
Maybe for
here.
single player games, like maybe, but it's like for multiplayer games, I hate that.
PS5 controller will track your heart rate and all that. There you go.
Like I hate that whole like. the
Where
button shit,
where
'cause
do
it
you
was-
read?
Where are you getting this stuff?
Like what site do you use?
The Verge,
Right.
the best journalism site ever.
No, actually,
I mean, it is
like,
possible, you know, like, it's not
I
hard
mean-
with the tech they have now with, like, the wristbands that can sense your heart rate, so
play
it
the
would
game.
totally be possible.
Nice move.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility because I mean, Nintendo came out with their own type of like heartbeat thing where you put on your finger and shit,
Right.
and you connected it for
Well,
a
see,
certain.
I'm
I
not-
don't know what they did it for, but they did it.
The fitness
Like
thing.
where are they getting? I'm trying to figure out where they got this at because like there's nothing in the press release from PlayStation that says anything about
Well,
heart
like,
rate.
it might be, see, here's the thing, right?
I just found it an interesting read. I was just reading. I just found it interesting.
It
The
could
dual
be,
sense is because of they're gonna have a microphone and a speaker in the controller for your hearing. That's one sense, and then they're gonna have the rumble and the trigger, the adaptive triggers where you can feel like a bow, like the pressure of a bow being pulled back, in the triggers. As far as that's your second sense, like I
see, it could
don't
be,
understand like why it would.
well, it could be
control your
based
heart rate.
on, like, the patent applications. Because I know a lot of these places will pull up the patent application for something, and then of course not everything that's in the patent application gets put into the real
Says
thing.
here in the article, sensor found in the two grips in the of the controller could adjust users' experience based on how quickly their heart is beating and how much sweat
Oh shit, I
is in
forgot
their
to.
hands.
What's the point of it detecting your heartbeat? It's like, yo, your heart's beating
I'm not.
fast.
I
I
just
Play
hey,
that
you know
workout
what?
sim.
I could totally see a game like, especially maybe
maybe
I
for
think
people
I-
who
well, I
get too
guess.
stressed out and like
Well,
it could be for those types of people like if they get too stressed out playing a video game, but they
Yo,
want
I
them
just
to
found
keep
it as an
playing.
interesting read. That's
Hey,
all.
you know what'd be funny though? Like, think about that. As soon as everybody and their brother finds out about that shit, and say like, let's say it actually happens, right? And Sony users are like, you know, they have some sort of tracking on it. Like, Sony users are really appreciating this because it's getting the highest of use. And then you look at the top game played as like some hentai game.
Pornhub, man. Do you see?
right?
On the
The
way
no,
users
around?
have been
I-
accessing their browser while
I
playing
could-
controller.
Here's
for
what
some
it.
reason.
I just read about it. It says it's regarding the patent, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Somebody looked at the patent, and it says, according to Sony and now Metro Redux developer, the PlayStation 5 has a secret, and it says a feature that hasn't been announced yet, but they don't really actually know what it is. Somebody said that they looked at the number of patents for what is presumably going to be called the DualShock 5 have appeared already, but they're now saying that they could have a heart rate monitor in there. But since that this was all speculated before it was announced, so my guess is that they didn't go with it. I mean, like maybe the patent's
Sure.
there, but they just haven't used
they
it,
just
or
didn't
maybe
probably-
it's something
I
that
did. I just found it as an interesting read. That's all.
But no, hey, I could totally see like maybe a
it would work
horror
in like
game.
in horror games.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
in
the higher
or
your
VR
heart,
horror games.
higher your heart rate goes, the more like your screen shakes a little bit, and you know they could tweak some other things that happen in
Or
game
to
because
to
of
that
your heart
opposite
rate.
effect, right? Like the higher your heart rate is, maybe like you're one of those people that like your heart is like really sensitive to like beating really fast, so it'll turn it down the difficulty a little bit. Maybe
You know,
like adaptive
So like
difficulty for certain
0.1%
games.
of the
there
population.
could be some cool things you could do with
Well,
that.
here's the thing: is like they added weird features back in the day, even on like the was it PlayStation 2 or PS1 for
Yeah, but I
for
see this
Metal Gear
feature
Solid,
as something
right? Like
kind of
if
pointless.
if you played certain games, Psycho Mantis could read your fucking game card and freak you out, and then rumble your controller, and he'd fuck with you. So isn't like
Yeah.
having a heartbeat sensor is not out of the realm of possibility for them,
Well, no, I
for
mean it
doing
would
some
work.
weird
It would
shit
work like
with
in
it.
horror games or VR games,
for sure.
like
Definitely.
VR, especially VR horror games. That would really
Oh yeah,
like a Resident Evil, like say Resident Evil 8 with
The
Heart rate monitor in VR.
could also be due to the popularity from streams.
Still mad he can't play Resident Evil 7 VR.
And I just go
on the
watch
Vive.
Ninja stream and I'm shaking eternal.
I'm not really sure though what like a heart rate monitor, what good it would do for like just regular games. I mean, like it would
I can
definitely
see
be a
those Call of Duty
'cause it
super
wouldn't-
distracting.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
a
that and-
specialty thing.
yeah, it would be something that like I would think that like horror developers would implement if they wanted their game to be a little bit more realistic, like while you're hiding.
Right. But
But I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I just think that might just be a talking point and not really something that they actually use.
well, could it, like I said, it
I
could have
don't
just
know.
been something they threw
Yeah.
into the patent just because they wanted it there in case they wanted
Yeah,
to
just to
implement
have it. Yeah.
Right, but they're not going to end
And,
up implementing it.
And it might end up being like in a special controller, like one release,
Sure.
like say with a horror game or something, so that way, you know, like they say, experience this game like never before. You know.
Right. Yep. But hey, interesting feature. If it does, regardless of whether it gets implemented or not, it's an interesting.
Oh yeah,
feature.
that would be. It would definitely be
I don't know about
interesting. I don't know if I'd want them monitoring my heart rate though, because that means they get a lot of. They can. I mean, technically, they could actually monitor a whole lot of shit just from your hands, and I wouldn't want them having all that information about me.
I just don't want both of these consoles to be super expensive.
They would end up. They would end up telling me like, "You need to go see the doctor. You have a heart murmur."
you get a message in the PSN network. You know, it's like, we've
Yeah,
been
my
monitoring
pla-
your heart rate, and it looks like you're getting a little high there, buddy. I think you should go see a cardiologist. Like, what the
Yes,
fuck, PlayStation?
And my PlayStation diagnosing me at home, like
becomes your wife and just has to annoy all day.
the PlayStation becomes your WebMD.
Right?
It's like, remember, you got a doctor's appointment. Remember, you got to head to therapy, John. I'm like, no, stop it. PlayStation.
But when it starts automatic, since you connect it to the internet, it starts connecting it to the. It starts like automatically scheduling you your
Can
appointments.
you imagine some
Right.
like, stupid shit being done like later down the line after this is made, like some biometric Bluetooth shit? Trying to have sex, your fucking TV turns on, you need to calm down, your heart rate's too high.
Right?
That'd be amazing.
Hey, man, we told you about this, guys. You need to cool it. Stop it with
Use
that
lube.
Viagra.
Take off that condom, you quitter. That's another one.
Oh, man.
That would be funny. That would
That'd be
hilarious.
Harold, I think that would be funny.
So,
Don
like,
says, so
we
why
noticed that
is
you took a
China...
shit twice today. You need to get your dietary tract in line.
Start installing sensors in your toilet. Like, yeah, your
Welcome
salt
back, Rambo.
levels are a little high, man. You need to cut it on the bacon.
There we go.
Don asks in the chat is why is China banning gaming, and chat, this is just another example that
Yes, this is
assuring-
another example of them asserting control over their people. I think what they're trying to do is stop, because there's, you get voice chat in a game, there's nothing stopping people from telling the people of China, like, hey, your government's a bunch of bullshit and shit like that. And I don't
Well,
think
that
they
and
want...
or the
With the
players got mad
coronavirus
because-
going around,
Yeah,
and them trying to state that they're not the ones who started it, and
Right.
the U.S. military was.
and hiding
maybe
their
it's a way
death
to
toll
control
and all
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's all about
play-
it's a way to
restricting...
control that.
See, gaming...
or it's all Chinese players who are mad that they keep getting kicked from games because someone mentions Tiananmen Square over and over again. That could be it.
Hey man, they just need to stop the wet markets, man.
I mean, it's
I
all
don't even
about-
think
wet
it came from
markets
the
are
wet
fucking
markets, man.
disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
it's all
I
about
think it.
control of information, because in-game chat was a way to circumvent the
Hong Kong
restrictions.
protesters.
Yeah, it's whatever it is, right? The people have that
Animal
library
Crossing.
in
Oh, yeah, Animal
Minecraft.
Crossing, they had to stop that shit real quick.
Yeah, or
the revolution starts.
was it GTA 5, right? Had the people
Make
putting
it
up
I
free Hong
agree
Kong
with you,
and all
JC.
that.
There. I agree with you. Make a regular controller and just make it work. I agree with you.
Or
And
you
you
use
gotta
mouse and
think-
keyboard,
you
the
gotta
better
think,
one.
like-
Well, here's
How massive is Hong Kong's fucking the China's power to where they can go and start policing every game that comes out? They're
Right.
wasting so much time paying attention to what we're saying.
They're not really policing every game. They literally have control over the internet. Like our government can't just simply pull the plug and the internet turns off. They can.
Have you heard of the word called communism?
Yeah,
They can
look,
do whatever they want.
we had a
They
little.
control.
We've been having a little taste of it in some of these states.
I'm surprised.
Oh,
I'm surprised so many
you're-
people haven't gone full. I'm taking my country back.
That's what they were trying to do.
I hope
That's what they're trying to do
YouTube
right now.
does it. I hope
Yeah,
YouTube
fucking
does.
Boogaloo
I hope
did.
we don't get in trouble for me just saying that.
Yeah, YouTube comment, attention, the thought police are here.
Well, last
Oh, yeah,
time,
they'll-
last time we got in trouble for saying something in the.
Well, no, that was because it was in the title.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, it was in the title.
okay.
Don't mention the words.
I just don't
But-
want us to get in trouble.
Was it JC? Yeah, JC, here's the thing. Gimmicks are fine with me as long as they're not the focus of the console or whatever they're putting out, right?
the Nintendo Wii.
Well,
Sorry, I
that's
had
the
to
thing.
say it out loud.
That's why I
No, I
wasn't
mean,
a big fan
you're
of the
not
Wii
wrong.
because the whole thing was designed. Or same thing with the DS. Like both of those systems, they were
Yeah,
designed
but
around
the
a gimmick.
DS actually had like at least
Sure.
DS was
hardware to get
functional.
It ended up.
It
Ended up
functional
working.
enough without the gimmick.
Are you
so
guys
they
talking
were
about the
lucky with
Wii
that.
U? Are you guys mentioning like the
Well,
Wii U?
No,
was
the
a-
That
Wii.
too.
The Wii was a bigger gimmick. The Wii U had. Well, the Wii U could save itself. if
I
you
don't
played
know.
it
I don't know.
normally.
That's a tough one, right?
Well, no,
because
if you
the
played a game
Wii's-
normally, like the rest of the world, with a controller, then you were fine.
See, here's the thing, right? The Wii, the gimmick was more central.
HD Rumble?
Because
HD Rumble.
The Wii U, it's not like you needed to use the stupid
The
little
little
screen
pad.
and shit. Yeah,
Like
but
the Wii U's main gimmick was that the screen that it came with was a way for you to play in case mom wanted to watch her fucking soap opera and you didn't
God.
want to fucking turn the game off.
but that's the thing. The Wii U was
Well,
worse
get my
in
room,
that
Mom.
the gimmick was so ludicrous, like that the expense incurred by that stupid fucking controller was just ridiculous. You
Also,
know, so
no one knew what
it's-
the hell that thing even was. Still, it's like, man,
I know,
Nintendo
right?
Wii
I'm
U.
like,
what
you
was
guys-
the Wii U?
That you see, whenever everyone said like, "Is that an upgrade for the Wii?" I was like, "How many of you in this room that I'm standing next to are sheep? Like, how stupid are you?"
Was the Wii U tablet just an upgrade?
Wait
for
a
the
minute,
Wii?
are
Was it
you
just an
talking-
upgrade from my
wait,
Wii?
Are you trying to say that the people that thought that the Wii U was an upgrade for the Wii are stupid?
Yes, because the Wii and
No,
the Wii U look
that was
completely
their
different.
messaging. That was their messaging.
No. People would look at the Wii U and think it was just a little tablet, but they showed them side by side together. The tablet came with the Wii U, and the Wii did not. The Wii came with the nunchucks and the
Right, and the Wii and the Wii U looked almost identical. far as the machine.
If you want to say it's identical, it probably is in terms of
No,
in
not
terms of
identical, I said it looked.
rectangular. In terms of rectangular shape, but the Wii U was more rounded.
Gangster, can you remove kill confirm?
I did. You
No,
little
I'm saying
bitch.
it looked. It looked.
It did. No,
please
no,
don't
it-
remove
it-
Kill
And
Confirm,
they
I love
and whenever
it.
Reggie
did.
came when Reggie came out and talked about it, he never really differentiated between the two. And when he named it the Wii U, that like it looked like okay, well I just want to get a tablet for my Wii.
Yeah, I will say they were
It was
like,
messaging.
Yeah, the marketing was
everything from
fucked,
the
but,
name
like,
of the Wii U to the marketing was designed to well, at least not dispel the notion that it was an upgrade to the Wii. Like they could have been much
They-
more clear that yes, no, this is a completely separate console. This is the next Wii, not an upgrade. Even the name
Yeah, if they
Wii
would've-
U, that sounds like Wii upgrade. You know.
Yeah, and if they would have actually just named it something different, like Wii 2 or something
Sure.
like that, I mean that would have made
Wii
just
3.
anything other than Wii U. But I mean, like
Well,
it looked and
you know,
the way
to
they
be
talked,
honest,
everything
though-
looked like it was just an upgrade.
To be
'Cause it
honest,
won
though,
the
and
strike
I guess my
twice.
brain acts a little different than the rest of the world then, because when I
I
heard
didn't
you,
buy it for
Okay,
two.
Mr.
I didn't buy it for
Lane,
2 years.
when I heard you, my brain instantly thought, oh, they're trying to be clever and say two without saying two.
Now, see,
That's what
whenever
my brain
I
thought.
did it, we didn't buy it for 2 years, thinking that I was like, I don't want to. I'm not paying that much money just for a damn tablet.
Well, I mean, I bought
like,
that
that's-
shit
that's all
year
I
one
thought it
because I
was.
did my research on it, but
That's all I thought it. Well, I mean, I'm not really a big Nintendo fan, so I mean,
That's yeah.
you know, because
Well, I do my
I
research
actually
on-
get
do my research
get
on
laid
any
and stuff.
console,
So
though.
Jesus.
I do my research on any console since you
Damn.
want to be a hating Tony.
Rambo going
I'm
savage.
gonna put you back in your stable, boy. I'm gonna give you salt cubes instead of sugar cubes. You watch. Get back in your
Hot
fucking
take
stable,
coming in.
Tony. At least I
Uh,
have some decent games.
Yo, did we just throw hands right now over
We
this?
throw
Throwing
Yeah,
hands,
man.
you know, it's alright.
Yep.
We're throwing hands. We go
Well,
slap box when this is over.
Well, I think the PlayStation 4 is literally the best-selling console right now.
It is.
You're not wrong.
You're all taking high on far right flank.
I think
I
it
can't
actually
get
has
mad
it.
at facts.
I think
has an opportunity
can
now.
I say this? Yeah, I think you'll get more laid because you have more apps on the PS4 than the Nintendo Switch right now.
Well, maybe so. But you well, hey,
Sorry,
at least with
people
the
are
Nintendo, at least
normies.
with the Nintendo, at least with the Nintendo Switch, you'll get more visits from your FBI agent.
Oh,
my god! Fuck you.
I thought they were missing
Part of
over my
that
hentai
goddamn
into storage, but at least they're not coming for that.
Hey
That's all that
man,
matters.
at least you can pull out Netflix on a PS4 and say, "Hey, you want to Netflix and chill?" You can't
I
do
will
that on
say,
Switch.
at least the Wii U is not censoring their games as bad as the PlayStation, which that's just kind of sad.
That's really weird.
It,
That
re-
is
it
weird.
really
I mean,
is.
Yeah.
Cause a
It's
hashtag me too.
It's all the
It's-
Japanese things.
It's
I mean,
PlayStation. It's Sony America, not like Sony
Yeah.
Japan.
Sony
But-
America doesn't listen to their own fucking head branch.
I mean,
do
they
what
don't
they
listen to
want.
anybody. They don't listen to their fucking game,
The
their
console could have been
players.
better redesigned of the Wii. We all know.
Damn, I'm getting hella lag.
Damn, JC, you're right about that.
Actually,
Activision-
with this COVID-19 thing going on, PlayStation 4 actually has a chance now of actually surpassing the PlayStation 2 because if you go into stores right now, you cannot find a Switch or a PlayStation.
No, yeah,
Like,
they are.
they're just
The ones
gone.
buying them Xboxes.
And Xbox is outselling actually because they dropped the price down $100.
Yeah, but it's only a matter
It's
of time
not us,
before they
like-
sell out too.
Yeah, whenever. Yeah, I mean, whenever I go into like say like we finally got my wife a PS4 whenever we got our Trump bucks. But whenever we were looking for them, like we actually have found the last one as the guy was putting it out, and he's like, we want that thing. He's like, you got to get it out because he said every time we put them out, they're gone. Those are the Switches. Like they won't stay in stock.
Yeah, in my store, like Switches are gone everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's
Because
crazy.
they're playing that Animal
Yeah.
Crossing, dog. Animal
They're like,
Crossing
I'm gonna get
Revolution.
Animal Crossing
I
and
think,
chill.
Quarantine, dude.
Animal
I-
Crossing. See, I question adults that play Animal Crossing.
I know,
I play
right?
Animal
I
You're
don't
not
get it
creative
either.
enough, Rambo.
Oof.
I don't
You're
get
not
it either,
start-
Dad.
I have to start
Dude, I
looking at a
question
certain
adult-
regime.
Another thing, Rebel, I've questioned those who like to I don't know, give away one 980 Ti that you got as a double by accident on Amazon and fucked over the other one. I'm just
Oh
saying.
yeah.
Well, think I haven't forgotten about that shit, bro.
That was actually pretty cool. I wanna try to order one again just to see if I can get
Right.
it to work.
Double bubble.
JC, what do you mean? Why?
What's going on?
Why?
JC's
Yeah.
asking why? Question mark.
Why what?
Yes, we don't know. He just said why. Why
Well, I
what?
know
JC?
at my two local GameStops, they only have Switch lights and nobody's buying them because they want.
Well, I
the
mean,
actual console itself.
why get a Switch Lite when you can do everything with a regular Switch?
Yeah, but I think the Switch
see,
Lite
that's-
is better than the
Well,
regular
it depends
Switch.
on whether
It's
you
like-
want the more
I got-
portable or the more console.
Well, you could do both if you just get the OG.
No,
Well, but the Switch Lite is
If
way
you take
smaller.
the
And,
if you take the regular Switch out, man, like it's almost like taking a small TV screen.
yeah, it's big,
I
man.
mean-
The regular Switch is big.
It's like walking around with a Wii U.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think anyone was judging people back in the boombox days when you had a massive chunk
Sure,
of
but we're
fucking
past
Oh,
This isn't-
JC,
this isn't the
JC
80s.
says,
Yeah,
JC
yeah,
says
we're past that.
Rambo saying he questions
sorry, I
adults
live in the
playing
Oh.
Animal Crossing. That was his
Oh,
name.
it's just a joke. I always joke
Rambo
around with
fucks
Metro
around.
because
he's
he
fucking
plays.
with this dude.
It
He's
is a
fucking
little
with
weird. Like, why would you want to play a game where you got to pay bills and shit? Like,
I mean,
a
it is
little
funny.
weird,
It is
but-
funny. It's for the creative aspect.
It's,
Yeah, but-
yeah,
it's
sure.
the versions, it's Nintendo's version of Sims with animals.
Yeah, that's the.
Can I
It's,
say
it's
this?
just
Can
kind
I
of
say this?
cartoony Sims.
Can I say this though? Like Nintendo has literally spawned a better economy than the Americans.
Pretty much.
Just throwing that out there, dude.
Pretty much.
All I'm saying is
man.
that with
Bro,
Animal
The
Crossing,
economy in
I-
that game is ridiculous.
people who I don't
dog.
like, I evict
I
immediately.
guarantee you, like if all the old people in politics were to die today, and new people who only play Animal Crossing decided to figure out how economy works, we'd probably be in a better fucking position with our goddamn money.
Wow.
Okay, boomer.
Oh please. I'm not even-
Okay, Zoomer.
Boom.
Okay,
Oh,
Zoomer. Don't call me a Zoomer.
You are a Zoomer, dude.
He
Alright,
is Zoom.
alright,
Zoom,
You
millennial.
Zoom.
really are.
Alright, millennial.
I mean, he's not wrong. We are.
Hey,
millennials, but
I'm right
we're not the
between
dumb
millennial and Gen X, so I don't know
You're a millennial.
if you say so.
I don't even know what the hell I am, but
Rambo,
I'm
you're
not.
you're
I'm non-binary. I don't count.
Right?
Rambo,
Rambo's
you're an
a fucking-
artifact. We have to discover you first.
I say
I was gonna
my
say something
parents
similar
were
to
my
that, too.
parents were baby boomers.
we have to take a
We're
feather duster to
discovering
you.
generations through Rambo, guys.
We'll have
Right.
to up the resolutions.
Yeah.
Man, it was like I remember back when 480p was the standard.
Well, you don't understand. Like I lived whenever the VCR first came out.
Yep.
Same.
Jesus.
Yep.
I was there during.
I
the
was
tail
there
end.
How would you even use a
3,000 years
VCR,
ago.
Cassette tape players.
Nobody
there you go.
knows what tracking is on a VCR unless you've experienced it.
Exactly.
I mean, that wasn't even on. That wasn't
Remember-
even on
remember
VHS.
Laserdisc?
Really, that was Beta's thing. Really.
Dude,
No
I was
joke.
on a,
Remember-
dude,
remember
I
that
experienced
Laserdisc,
the
that big ass
Laserdisc.
disc?
I got to experience all those things growing
Yep.
up.
Back in the school, they would put it in, and you thought you were the shit.
No
Bro,
joke. I saw a
we
VCR
watched,
and I tried using it, but I couldn't figure out how to use a VCR.
Oh,
My
Oh
brain
my
was like,
God,
what is
dude.
this?
Oh my god.
I know how to use
Is this
VCR.
aliens? The
I
aliens
know
are
how to
showing up.
use VCR. Blue, you're younger than me.
right.
There's still some places
It's so
that use
easy.
the
You just
VCR.
look at it, you know what to do.
Oh
Well,
man, kids these
I'm
days.
so used.
I want to
Also-
see Blue struggle with a cassette tape because even I know how to operate that.
Dude, I still have my original Walkman,
What even is this?
man.
Hold up. No, like, this is a serious question.
Okay,
What
okay, Blue.
is
Have
a
you seen
cassette
Guardians
tape?
of the Galaxy?
Yes.
You
What
know
he
the
plays
cassette
music
tape
on
that
before he
Quill
gets
plays
the-
music
I
in?
thought
Yeah.
Pete was the boomer.
That's
Which
a
one
cassette.
is it, Blue? Oh,
Yeah, they're
That's
just kind
the
of
Walkman,
mixed
that's like the
messaging
OG
there.
shit.
is he a millennial or is he a boomer?
Oh, tough questions. I know. We had to
Yeah.
like go like we had to
Those
like go
hard-hitting
dig down to the
questions.
surface.
Hey man,
No,
let's,
like,
let's
wait,
watch
so-
Blue like put a tape in a tape player and
Wait,
just
hold
watch
up.
the
A
caveman
cassette tape is that
shit
one
happen.
weird little thing that Quill used in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah,
Yes.
then the
That's
first
what
one,
cassette tape?
Before he gets
that's a
the
Walkman,
Zoom, that's a Walkman with an original cassette, like the original,
yeah,
the
before,
OG
he gets,
Walkman.
before he gets basically an iPod, which is the Zune. Yeah, he had a Walkman, which is. a
I
cassette.
honestly thought that was fake technology. I'm like, this is where
No,
they-
that's
my-
actual.
That was
Sony,
no.
Sony
Zoom
had
was
their-
a great
Hold on.
thing, man.
Hold on,
I still
Blue,
have some
Blue.
cassettes somewhere in my house.
Do you at least know what an 8-track is?
Oh man.
I'm sorry,
even
what?
I've only seen one of those
An
once in my
8-track,
life.
you know what it is.
I
I
just
had
got
an
my
8
answer.
I had
I've seen
a
an 8-track.
home
We had
stereo
an
unit.
8-track.
Yeah, I
They're
had a
bringing
home
those
stereo
back,
unit
you
with
know
an
that,
8-track
right?
player, but I didn't have any 8-tracks for it, which was kind of.
You know
I don't
why? You know
understand.
why they're
Actually-
bringing them back? Because 8-track
We actually
for
had an
physical
8-track.
media has the best quality sound.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Yeah,
does
'cause
vinyl too, though.
It's a way wider and a way longer
People-
tape. You get better
All right, to
fidelity.
go after vinyl real quick. People only own vinyl because you can collect it. It's like collector's items. Like, oh,
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
Oh, vinyl,
well,
vinyl,
no,
People
no,
vinyl
only
quality is
collect
pretty
vinyl
good.
to collect vinyl. Dude,
There
I
are- no, no.
listen to vinyl.
There are two
I listen
kinds
to
of
vinyl.
there are two kinds of vinyl collectors. Okay, there are the people who like it because it's the purest analog sound you can get because is no digital in it whatsoever. Whereas with everything else, there is some
A
digital,
little
like
hole to
even
get
cassettes.
the.
And then there
latch
are the
into
people
yeah.
like the
like
what-
DJs and shit.
well, okay, fine, yeah. So three. So DJs, fair. The people who love analog sound, and then there are the hipsters
have
who
a little
only
bit
like
of-
it because it's old. You know what
a
I
little
mean?
tiny screw bit, whatever, a drill bit.
I'd be more of the DJ type of person. Like I'd play it just to make a nice track, but I'd also listen to it. I wouldn't scratch it the fuck up.
for me, I've only seen people who collect.
I like
have
it for the
vinyl.
lossless FLAC quality.
The only like people I've seen who like collect vinyls were like over here. Typically, people who just love collecting all that old shit
You know, hipsters.
because they love that hit of nostalgia. So
And they're
Yeah.
probably hipsters.
Yeah, I mean,
When I was a kid, though, I mean, just to tell you how old I am, the 8-track was actually standard in our cars. Like we listened to 8-tracks. That's how old I am.
Because when I was a kid, like it was the tail end of like cassette players still being in cars and trucks and shit. Before everybody started going into like CD players, and now we got what digital just screen.
Man, the boombox, man, the
XM radio
boombox.
shit.
I was a little too young for 8-tracks, but cassette players, yeah. All our cars when I was a kid had fucking cassette players.
Yeah, like there are some people now who just if they have a cassette player still in their truck
Hey,
that they got
man.
hand me down, they'll get a
Napster and a cassette recorder, dude. That was the
Oh
shit.
man.
or the cassette mod where you can just have a cassette
See-
that had an aux at the end of it and you just.
See,
plug
I
in your
was
phone.
lucky. My dad was a computer nerd, so I got his old hand-me-downs for everything. You know, I got my first computer when I was like 5 because my dad bought a new computer, so I got his old 486. But when Napster first started coming out, my dad had just upgraded his CD burner. He had an old like
Oh,
8x speed CD burner that was garbage. It would fail at like 1 out of every 3 tries on a CD. But when he got his new one, I got his old one. So I was one of the first kids with Napster who had a CD burner, and I could actually burn CDs with the songs that I downloaded.
And then
it was
you
fucking
would,
awesome.
would you be the kid in the class that would be like, "Hey man, I got this new
Oh,
new
yeah.
album, dude. You want to check it out?"
I'd make rap mixes and shit and burn them for all my friends and bring a boombox to school, and we'd be playing the fucking at lunch and shit.
Damn.
It was great, man.
That's how
sounds like
that's how Eminem started, man. Like
Yeah.
Napster and Eminem, dude.
It all
Yep.
seems so far away, but it's
So
like,
long ago, 3,000 years ago.
How about back
man.
in the day, Netscape? There you go.
Oh,
Netscape.
dude.
Like-
AOL.
Like,
You
yeah.
gotta get the disc.
One thing I remember when I was a kid was like disc. Like I remember discs were standard in cars.
CDs.
So you came in like when basically my little brother was coming in, where the CD players were taking
Hey
over.
man.
I
when
remember
was a
like every
kid-
time I'd enter a car, they'd have a disc and like you want to watch a movie while you're driving. You just get a movie and put the disc in, all that stuff.
Because you're about 20, 21, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Cause my brother's like 4 years younger than me, so that's how you came in around the same time as my brother when they started putting CD players.
I loved back in the day when they had the PS2 when it first came out, dude, with that AT off-roading and the what was that racing game they put in the bundle of that back then?
You know what's even more hilarious to me though, now knowing that Blue has never interacted with a fucking cassette tape, is he doesn't know what a Teddy Ruxpin is.
A what?
A Teddy Ruxpin? Exactly.
I
like,
had one of those.
seriously,
Those
what is that?
motherfuckers are creepy, dude.
It was a teddy bear that had a.
It had a cassette tape reader,
Yeah.
cassette player in its ass, and
That sounds
like
horrifying.
It
No,
would,
Yeah,
what-
it's-
whatever it would play, it would move its mouth as it played it.
Yeah, it
it
was.
sounds like
It
nightmare
was
fuel.
creepy.
It was nightmare fuel, bro. It
The
was.
original was even scarier, dude.
I think
Yeah.
Blue
I
would
had a
struggle
revision
with
model.
the. I think Blue would struggle with the 32X, dude. Same
Oh,
No,
thing.
the
the
thing
Sega
is, like,
32X?
I actually struggle with old technology. Like anytime I use any form of technology,
Dude, I love
it's
old
always
technology,
feels,
dude.
It feels so like weird
The
to me. Like,
Commodore 64, I think he would struggle.
Oh, dude. You wouldn't know
When
what
he
to
would,
do.
when he would have
DOS,
to
bro.
do with the tape.
You wouldn't know
with
what the fuck
tapes.
to do with DOS.
Like with the Commodore 64, they had this add-on.
Like,
where
where's
it
the
played
mouse?
A tapes or.
I think I
regular
would
tapes.
struggle.
DOS
like,
was the
first-
shit,
I think I
man.
would struggle like the first week with DOS, and then
How
that'd
about,
be.
DOS
how about
was
the
the
old
shit.
printer? How about the old printers, dude? That.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dot
those things are
matrix.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Are any of y'all still surprised about the number of companies when you go to like shop at them that are still using DOS,
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
on their cash registers? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
why are y'all using that?
I'm like that shit.
Especially
Because
since
it's actually because it's the most stable.
Well,
Well, yeah,
no,
but I mean, I'm like,
not with the new point of sales they have, man. They've got some nice ones made with tablets and shit that are real simple, real cheap.
Oh, like the
and-
Squarespace shit.
Yeah, it works real well. So I would agree
Oh, yeah.
with you. Like 5 years ago, when your only two options were either a DOS-based one or like a Windows one, which yeah, those could really suck. But nowadays, with the tablet ones they have that are all self-contained and super easy, like those work really well. So yeah, any company that hasn't upgraded to that yet, it's like, why, guys? You know.
Or
but
the big floppy disk back in the day on the big black ones. Back
5
in the day.
1/4, man. Yep.
That shit
Yeah,
was
I
amazing.
used to have a floppy disk. I didn't
Or
use it much.
7-zip.
7-zip.
Oh,
Yep, had those in school because you could put 100 megs on them.
Yep.
Bro, that's fucking taking me back. I know it's
I mean,
taking y'all
my
way
first-
the fuck back, dude.
My first computer had a 3.5 floppy, a 5 1/4 floppy, and a chintzy ass CD player.
I remember we had Macs in the class, those old white ones.
Yep.
And then my teacher had that Pippin or whatever it was back in the day.
Oh, the Pippin.
Yeah, they thought they were the shit for having it.
Bro, remember when like shitty little
Yeah,
PDAs
mine-
were the shit?
my first PC only had the floppies like that. Like we did, the CD drive actually came way later.
Yeah, mine it was added on because it originally only came with a 5 1/4 and a 3.5. But by the time I got it, my dad had put a CD player on it. But it was nice because I could play any game. You know, I could go from like I had 5 1/4 floppies of some ancient ass games, and then I had some 3.5s of some of this more modern stuff, and then
They had
As
some really
I
good
got
games
it-
on those floppies.
oh dude, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And I had a great
I had-
selection too. It sucked because I didn't have full versions of any of it. But my dad,
Oregon Trail,
Yep.
man.
that was
I
one
know
of
the only
games.
game that I owned on a floppy when I had a floppy drive was just Doom. That was it.
But my dad belonged to this thing called Software of the Month Club, which would send out
Oh my
three
god,
and a
I
half,
remember that.
I remember
three and a
that.
half floppies of
3.5
shareware
floppies,
versions.
and it came with a Bible-like magazine. I remember
Yep.
that shit.
And fucking, so I got to experience, I didn't get the full versions of any of them, but I got to experience all the games, man. Raptor and Doom and, you know, Duke Nukem and Biohazard, Jill of the Jungle. Like, I've been looking around and I've gotten a whole bunch of copies, like, you know, rips of them from, like,
Remember
the sites that have the old DOS games. And, man, Zone 66, oh my god, Zone 66.
Remember the game magazines that would give you the PlayStation demo CDs all the time?
Yep.
Those are
PC
cool.
Accelerator first, and then PC Gamer once they went under. That was great.
That
Or
takes
like,
me way back.
What was
Or the Sidekick days. Remember Brimstone Sidekick days?
Fucking
Yeah,
sidekick.
I never had a sidekick.
Or the Motorola Razr? Not
had
the
that.
new one? And we
Yeah,
thought they
my-
were cool.
My Razor lasted, man. Everybody broke theirs, but mine actually lasted. I kept mine going for like 5 years.
I remember I had the first Motorola phone where they started introducing the it was like a side button where you could voice activate, like if you said someone's name it would call.
Yeah, yeah. Call whatever, and it
very-
never worked right.
The very first phone that came out with that shit from Motorola, I had that.
What was it, the next cell phone? The one that would go ding.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Next
you
Cell.
would-
Yep,
Yeah, you would literally page somebody.
yep.
Oh, Nextel.
And
I
then
had a
the
girlfriend that
Verizon
had that, the
commercial.
walkie-talkie feature, which was actually really cool because it didn't use up your minutes or anything.
Remember the Verizon campaigns back in the day? Can
I
you hear me
actually-
now?
I
Yep.
actually wanted a phone that could do that walkie-talkie shit because I thought that was the most badass thing ever. They still
mean,
have
it
that
was-
service though.
Bunch
They
of
do.
bots.
But it's Sprint, or it owns Nextel, right? And the
Yeah,
the
and that, well now
phones and stuff
T-Mobile
are-
does.
or yeah, now T-Mobile, and the
You guys
phones
got
are really
stomped.
shitty.
Holy shit. What
Damn,
about the
Blue.
bots?
Get on my level, son.
Okay, dude,
Yeah,
whatever.
Metro.
What?
Metro's got kills that game, so it's like, oh my god, Metro got kills, guys.
I've been doing good since last night, since we all stopped playing that last night.
I'm joking, I love you, Metro, but no.
No, I actually was garbage when we played.
Oh man.
It
So
feels
what's
so
on the ne- what's
nostalgic
next
for
on
you
the
guys, at
docket, you
least.
guys?
To me, it's like, I have no idea.
The only other thing I have up is Jason Schreier is leaving Kotaku,
So the only good
Jesus.
journalist they had is leaving? Jesus.
and even he's not all that great, but he's at
He's
least
like, he makes decent
I was like,
articles. That's all he
Maybe
gets.
maybe Jason Schreier finally got fucking tired of being pegged as an SJW.
he is one of the SJWs like that. He turned into one.
The thing is, he actually
kinda
does make good
did.
articles, though. Like, his BioWare Anthem articles, fantastic. Like,
That's-
one of the
What
best.
was
That's
crazy though, I think the reason why is because they got bought out by that new media group, and they're
Yeah.
demanding that they run game only journalists and not inject their politics into it.
could be.
Because like
Does
they
that
were,
mean Kotaku can get good again? I'm just kidding. That's not happening. But
Oh,
no.
that ain't happening.
it might.
But
But he's blocked me on Twitter, like, because he cannot handle any criticism whatsoever.
that's
Like,
the
Jason,
thing.
you smell.
He might be one of the best journalists at Kotaku, but that's not saying much. I mean,
Yeah,
So, like,
I mean,
like, I'm
in
actually
comparison, like, you're really not comparing it to anything.
Yeah, but like, the
No.
problem is there's no other good journalists like that really go down into the gutter, like how he went down the gutter for Anthem, because like he was able to criticize BioWare when no one really wanted to do it at the time in games
The
journalism.
problem is though is that the only thing that he's been putting out lately is, oh, this game has crunch. This game has crunch. This game developer has crunch. I'm like, well, yes, that's what people signed up for. They're at-will employees. They know this. Like, who cares?
I mean, it's
I
not
do
just
feel
that
sorry
either.
For somebody.
Everybody has crunch. Like there is
Yeah.
almost. I mean, unless you're in retail, and even then you can get crunch with like truck or something. But it's not
an
like that.
inventory or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it might not be the same kind of crunch that you get with like a movie or a video game or something, but they still have it. But that's the thing. Any industry like movies or video games, you get crunch, and it's unfortunate, and I can not like it, but it happens.
Well, yeah, but I mean, either through the rest of the week, I mean, they're not all working a full 40-hour weeks every week, and then whenever it comes closer to actually getting the game out, they might have to work like 60, 80 hours or whatever like that. But still, you average it all together, they're not really working a shit ton more hours than the regular working person.
Yeah. So,
They're just doing it all at one time. But I mean, that's a job they signed up for.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing when they signed up for that fucking job. You can't get mad at them for knowing their job.
That's what I don't get is like people get these jobs and then they complain
Like they get to make a fuck ton of money purposely.
It's like why are you complaining and trying to change a job you signed up to do?
Well, if anything else, make your own video game company or something. If you don't like crunch, because here's the thing. A lot of the times, crunch comes down to a failure of the either company or management or whatever to not, either not budget time properly, not budget resources properly, not, have personnel doing the wrong things at the wrong time. It's like the crunch could have been avoided if one of these things was done better. So make your own video game company and, do all that right, and you won't have crunch. But they're if they tried, they'd find out it's not that.
Relaxed and hippified through the beginning portions of the what's it called? The beginning of the development stage, and then they're like, oh shit, we got to get this. Like Sony wants us out by this day or whatever, and they have to crunch. But I mean, if they would have actually just said, okay, let's get as much done as we can this week.
Yep.
And and then take time off at the end. Not that they're doing it they're doing it wrong.
Right. Yeah.
I'd rather work as much as possible in the beginning, and then have more time off towards the release of it, rather than vice versa.
Crunch near the tail end, yeah.
Yep.
I'd rather have my crunch at the beginning.
Yeah, I'd rather do it in the beginning and then be like, all right, we got like 3 months left. I'm gonna take a vacation for 1 month.
Yeah, but game crunches are ruining games hard.
Well, it depends. It depends on whether or not they can delay if they need to, or what.
Like, look what happened to Anthem. Anthem got completely squashed.
Yeah, but they got. The reason why is because of who the person was controlling the crunch of it. Like you have Sony. Like Sony allows like Last of Us. They had crunch or whatever, but then they also allowed them to delay it indefinitely. They allow more and more delays with these first party studios. Whereas like EA says, no, this has to be out by this date, no matter what.
No matter what.
They all quit.
So,
that's funny.
I was wondering, dude. I circled the entire map twice and I couldn't find anybody.
Right.
I was just shooting, making a song because I knew they all forfeit before everybody else did.
But yeah, it's it is what it is. And like I said, it happens in every one of those kinds of industries.
Yeah,
sometimes at the fault of the company, and sometimes for unforeseen things. And it's
no, but I mean, it doesn't make it. To me, it doesn't make it something worth complaining about, because it's a job. Like I can't go get a job as a janitor and then complain that I got to clean shit out of toilets. Like that's just the way it is. I mean, sure, it's a.
I mean,
well, no, I mean, it's a crap job.
Get crunched to work 90 hours or 100 hours in some cases.
That's they knew what they were getting into with these large companies that have these large games. Whenever they go apply for these jobs, they know what they're getting into. Crunch has existed since the beginning of these big studios.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not a video game company only thing. This happens in all of these kinds of creative enterprises.
Well, yeah, all the entertainment industry.
The thing is, though, is does anybody remember what happened to Crytek? Like, they literally got called out for their shit on Crunch because they weren't paying their employees, right? So we're talking about crunch like that. That's fucked up.
Oh yeah, no, but that's a separate issue.
If you're getting paid, then you know what? I can't really feel sorry for you. But if you're not getting paid, you're getting mistreated. By all means, fucking cry about it, blow that shit up, make it big.
Yeah.
Like what happened to Telltale? You mean Telltale Games?
That's I mean that they're not paying their employees is a problem. That's an entirely separate issue from crunch. But
yeah.
But I mean I would agree. Then you have definitely reason to complain. But if you go sign up for a job and that has crunch, and then
or at least the
you
possibility
complain that,
of it.
oh my god, they made us oh my god, they made us work 80 hours. Well, yeah, you signed up for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell your boss no? Then they're gonna be like, all right, bye.
Yeah,
all right,
find somebody else.
Fuck you.
I'll find somebody who is willing to do that.
And if you don't like the crunch, they all have the option of hitting the door, but they don't.
Yeah, but you can't say,
Like-
oh, you don't like the hours, just quit your job, lol.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't just say that.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
you can.
If you don't
You
like
have a
working,
choice.
if you don't like working past midnight, then don't work for a store or whatever that's open past
Yeah, what
midnight.
if there's limited
Exactly.
options? What
Well,
if there's
there's not
options?
limited options.
everywhere. There's always limited options. Like it is what it
Yes,
is.
and then the
man.
thing is, though, is that you deal with what you got to deal with and better yourself as far as education or training or whatever it needs to be, and go get yourself a different job. But you don't continue working for the same company and bitching about that company.
Yeah, I mean there are
Like
certain
that-
things to bitch about, and like, yeah, not being paid, shit like that, fine.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah.
A lot of these working conditions, it's like, I'm sorry guys, this is the job. You know, you can't be a nurse and then complain that you have to deal with blood and a bunch of other shit all day. It's
Well,
like, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
but I mean,
that's
how-
what comes with being a nurse.
How many nurses or doctors do you hear complain that they have to work 80 hours a week in the ER? I don't hear.
16-hour
absurd
shifts
amounts of
working
money.
from noon one day to fucking noon the next day or some shit like
Doctors
that.
make a lot of money.
Well,
Like,
but I mean, that's
so
part
do,
of
so
the
do game
job.
developers. But that's part of the job. Like they don't go in there and go, no, I want to work an 8-hour shift and that's it.
And
they just do the
here's
job.
the thing, right?
My aunt's like a nurse practitioner and shit, and she works like hella amount of hours.
Well, not, and
Because-
that's the thing,
well,
right?
it's busy.
If you want to be a doctor, you can do the right courses or whatever, become the right specialty, be a fucking either like OBGYN or family practitioner, and you don't have
take
to
10
work
years,
those
though.
6.
So-
Well, but,
Yeah, you
but
get to base your hours.
yeah, but that's the it's part of the gig, right? There are options
And it's-
within that job sphere that either allow you to work the kinds of hours you want to, or that force you to work the crazy hours, and it's up to you
And
to
it's
do the
all a
things you need
choice.
to do. Yeah, you can be a fucking heart surgeon and only work the hours you want to work and only, shit like that, or you can just be an ER doctor and, well, you're going to have to work long hours and crappy hours. That's just kind of how it goes.
And then not to mention, there's different things at these game companies that don't have to deal with crunch. And then like you can, but the thing is that they want these positions because they pay more. And so therefore they
or to
get
work
it, and then they
for
can
specific companies because they want to work on the certain games or whatever. It's like, yeah.
To me, I don't feel sorry for anybody that gets a job and then complains about the hours, knowing that the type of environment you're going into.
Well, a lot of people that complain about the hours nowadays are people that are like, young as shit. They're like, oh, I'm so used to this. Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, if we're talking about just crunch, then yeah. There's always that differentiating factor in which why people complain. It's not necessarily the crunch, but since we are talking about just the crunch, then yeah, I'm right there with you, Rambo. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Crunch Tech because like those employees got screwed. I mean, they were not only did they like work hard to put out a good game, but then they also didn't get paid.
Right.
no.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, no. But
Not getting paid, working 30, 40 hours,
I
overtime,
mean,
easy.
shit, you want to talk about crunch? They used to crunch me at fucking Subway. I didn't get paid for half of it.
Yeah, that was your fault though.
Yeah, I know. But they still crunch me.
wait, why was it Metro's fault? What did he do?
No,
Do
I used
you
to be
wanna go about this? You wanna
I
go
used to
into
be
this?
graveyard. I used to be graveyard, dude. And there used to be like so much shit you'd have to do before the store officially, quote unquote, reopens, right? And I could never get it done because I'm too busy stopping what I gotta do to take care of customers. But like my shift ends at 5 a.m. But I can't leave because all my shift's not done because instead of like getting, I don't know, maybe it's closing the store for 2 hours of my shift so we can all catch up in the store. People come in from the actual casino that we work at, me and Brim currently, and they'll come ransack the shit for like 3 hours straight. But it's my fault, even though I'm still doing my job by being an excellent customer service.
Oh, dude, that shit happened to me at like AutoZone and stuff because we were running skeleton crew, so we'd get truck on a Friday. The morning crew wouldn't put shit up, and then they'd bounce and leave 2 of us. But we're getting customers and phone calls and shit all night, and dude, there'd be nights where we could not get truck all of it up. And we'd get yelled at, and it's like, you motherfuckers, man. What do you expect us to do? We've got customers. Like, we can't not help
that's
customers.
exactly what I would tell my bosses,
Yeah.
dude. And they wouldn't want to hear it. They'd be like, "Oh, well,
Nope.
so and so can do it." And
Yeah,
like,
they don't give a fuck.
so and so doesn't work the days where all these people get off of work, and that's like since I started working with Brim, I now understand what their days and when they came in, and it all lines up with the days that I got busy, which happened to be the days that I worked the graveyard crew. And that's why I was always busy, because it was those groups of people. They'd always come in. They wouldn't change their habit. They wouldn't mix it up. And to be fair, like there was nothing open besides us. That's it. Maybe Carl's Jr. That's
Jack
it.
in the Box. Yeah.
But like it's understandable, because now all 3 or 4 of these restaurants that are open late night are getting slammed, and then we got like high off their ass like teenagers calling and pranking the
Right.
phones and shit. Then I gotta deal with that one Karen who's stoned out of her mind with her son embarrassing her child, coming in at like 1 a.m. to come order a sandwich, only to leave because she realizes she can't think straight to order a goddamn footlong, and it's my fault. It's my fault.
Oh, sorry, that was
man.
really funny. He said she can't think straight to order a foot long.
The things you see in food service and retail,
dude, retail,
shock
yeah.
the shit out of you.
Being a waiter, the amount of
Become
stupid
numb
people
as
I've had
fuck
to deal
after
with,
about a
I
year.
actually wanted to like just put forks like in between my ball sacks.
Oh, dude, I'm of the firm opinion that everybody should have to work a retail job for like
It
a
should
year.
be a requirement to understand just how stupid the people in your town or city is.
Yeah.
So you understand how to serve them even better by knowing how to talk.
And one thing you learn in retail is never to say it can't get any worse.
Oh,
Right?
that's exactly when everything gets fucked, dude.
Oh, dude,
Someone said that
you
one
know
time,
somebody
like,
who's been
you
working
know.
retail for more than 6 months, because they will never say, okay, there's nobody that could be stupider than this asshole. Because every day, if
Yep.
you say that, the next day some asshole
The
will
next
prove your
person
ass
that
wrong.
comes in is
Yep.
like, I want this, I want that. It should be free.
Oh, God.
And they won't leave until you give them something.
Oh,
Or,
man.
I need my
Well-
compensation because it was your mistake.
It's like that employee said I could have it for this price, and it's an even bigger price than it was before.
The amount I mean, at working retails, I don't know, like, I hate retail, but I love being a waiter. Being a waiter was fun. I missed that job.
I actually
They-
didn't mind auto retail too bad, because at least half of the customers that came in knew their shit and were cool people,
Well, yeah, usually, yeah.
you know. But then the other half, they are idiots and expect you to fix their car for them. Fucking, yeah, you know. But that's the thing, I'm
All
good at it, and
Karens
I don't mind working
have
on
the
cars,
IQ
so...
of 2. All the Karens have IQs of 2.
I feel like out of almost all the retail shit, GameStop's probably got the easiest job because it's probably only busy.
No
during,
one
like, a
goes there.
major-
I don't know.
during a major fucking release.
I don't know.
about that.
I work for them, so I could tell you.
Well,
everything
aside
to
from
do
the
with them.
quota bullshit, it's cozy as fuck from what I can see.
I would never
not
work
really,
at
not
GameStop.
really. Depending on the day, man, and depending on the rush.
Depending on the day in the
Dude.
area, but like places out here, it's quiet as fuck. I hardly see people.
We
Well,
always
especially
had
quiet
traffic
now
in the
since
store and
GameStop
long
is
lines.
closed.
No,
Oh, yeah.
GameStop is actually.
Or no, that's
curbside
right.
now.
That's right. That they're doing curbside. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're essential.
They're
They've
essential
actually,
I mean-
GameStop's been booming in my area. Like
Here's the
everybody's
thing.
been.
I
back
don't
To
give
the
me,
place.
everything is essential.
That's the thing. I don't care about essential or not, as long as, like, curbside. I'm fine with curbside, because that avoids
Essential
all the...
to me is food.
Yeah, but it's...
Well,
To me, I don't
WWE is
even- okay.
considered an essential business now, so there you go.
WWE's entertainment is not essential.
If you
Yeah,
can,
it is.
if you
If
can,
you're
It is
stuck in your
essential to
house, yes,
everyone.
it is. That's the thing.
if you can have 50 to 100 people inside the Walmart electronics department, then you can have 5 people inside a damn GameStop.
Right? Or curbside.
I like that one.
Or yeah, or curbside. Yeah, but I mean,
curbside fixes all this, and it won't require the shutdown
Well,
of
hey, Blue,
non-essential,
it takes
so-
Linda McMahon to give $18 million as a donation to the Florida governor to basically, buy off and say, hey, we're essential business now.
Yeah, I don't care
They're
about
bribing them.
essential or not. I think people
I know
should be
somebody-
allowed to decide what's essential and just make everything curbside
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
well, or why couldn't? Okay, if Walmart can limit the because they said 5 people per 1,000 square feet, so 900 people total in a Walmart supercenter. If Walmart can do this, why can't every single small business
Right.
do the exact same thing and go, okay, well we have 2,000 square feet, so we can only allow 10 people in at the store at a time,
Yep.
and at least allow these people to stay employed
Exactly.
and allow
Businesses to stay
them to
open.
make money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
business
absolutely-
business would be slightly slower than usual because how many.
Well,
people
yeah,
can
but
handle
still,
at
it would
once.
still.
But
I don't
better
know. I
than-
mean,
People would have to, but it would be able to do
it's better
something
than being
because-
unemployed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
no
Can we
joke.
say the
before
lane
this
all
shutdown
happened-
at Walmart's been longer prior to COVID? I mean,
Well, my
Wait, what?
Walmart is limiting people in store now. They're starting
Yeah.
to do that.
Well,
where
that's
they're
fine.
limiting
Yeah,
a
they're-
certain amount of people.
Yeah, but they're limiting it to 5 people per 1,000 square feet, which ends up being on average 900 people per supercenter.
Man, if you're doing
And
your
I'm just
social
thinking-
distancing, I don't see a problem with allowing 5 to 10 people in a store.
there was
Cam,
one,
is that you on the other team?
No,
If you
Kenny's
look
on
at
our
it,
team.
I mean,
No, he's
if
on
you
the
look
other
at a
team.
Hobby Lobby,
Yeah, that's him, that's
if
him,
you look
that's
at like a Hobby Lobby barely has 25 people in it
I
at
know
the
that.
time anyway.
I
All
know
right,
that.
let's all-
Didn't rank anywhere.
let's focus on Cam all day.
Yeah, let's all get him.
Let's go after Cam's ass.
GameStop barely has like 2 or 3 people, in their store at a time. I don't understand like why these companies
using a
can't
shotgun,
have the
Cam.
option.
Of course he is.
I bet you he was the one that popped me at the start of the match too. But no, there's a place. I forget where it's at. But they limited to like only one person in that household can go for the entire household. No one else can go in.
Well, they say that, but like,
I found
well, I mean,
Cam.
we have them the same
He's up
thing
there in
here,
that
but
window.
I mean, they can't stop people with like, like us that have maybe one
Gotcha.
parent and then like 6 kids. I mean, like you're gonna have to have the 6 people.
Just block
Like
the
they-
highway wall. I'll show them who's boss.
Hey man, you could do like the Florida governor said, just put a hairdryer to your nose, it'll solve the coronavirus
Right.
problem.
God.
I honestly just think that this isn't as deadly as what everybody says it is, and
That's wrong.
I don't think so. It actually, I guarantee you that if you actually had the test and tested the majority of people,
They have a test.
you would find. Well, they only have tests for certain people.
Well,
you
so
have to have
far
the
the
symptoms,
test
but
has crippled China, crippled most of Asia. This
It
virus
actually
has.
didn't cripple China. That's the interesting thing.
No, it did. Now in China, Wuhan's back on lockdown when they supposedly had no deaths.
Sure, but no. But that's only in Wuhan, though. The thing is, like, this is why I think it was. I
Beijing
don't-
didn't happen.
Yeah, Beijing, Shanghai, all the large areas of China didn't get it at all. Which
Well,
is why I'm convinced
in
that.
Japan, from what I've been told, they played it as a joke. They thought it was going, because of the Olympics. They said nothing was wrong, and then all of a sudden, they all started going down one by one.
But I'm
I don't know, I
convinced
just
that
don't-
even if the release was not intentional by China, they intentionally made it worse everywhere but their own area, because it makes no sense that nowhere else in China
And
got
cripple the
it.
world economy,
But-
where they have to basically get money from the U.S. That's
Yeah,
a good
and they
idea.
bought stocks in a whole
Oh yeah, they
bunch
bought
of
so much
American
of our fucking
companies
stocks, dude.
after they
Why
bottomed
is China
out.
sitting on top right now currently?
Shit.
It was all a master plan. Think about it.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it was their plan, dude.
I'm
Like,
convinced.
who has a country
not.
or who has a fucking area that has like barely anything going on
I'm not.
in
I'm
terms
gonna
of the virus,
I'm gonna
and they're buying up everybody else's stocks while they're all suffering?
I
I
just think that if
honestly-
you
I mean,
tested the majority of Americans or even the majority of the world, if you actually tested them, I would imagine that a lot of people have already had it
And, it's
and
still
already
fine.
immune to it.
Yeah, there are some people like in the casinos that look like they were about to die. I know one of them, and she swears on God that like she had it before anyone even said anything. Because that's how sick she was. She was sick for like 2 weeks, practically shat herself, coughing out her lungs. I think she had it.
Possible.
Cam, you just got teabagged, buddy.
I'm not.
I know I teabagged him too.
I'm not a conspiracy man, so how many actual
I don't know, like
real numbers? On
the evidence is, because here's the thing, right? China is super fucking restrictive about how many people they allow out of the country and when they allow them out of the country. So it makes
Cam's like
no
actor.
sense for it to spread way faster outside of their country, and it doesn't at
Yeah, if it
all
released
get
in their
to
country, it should
Beijing
be
or
like
Shanghai.
all over that fucking country.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
why is it overseas? If it like be real, like why is it so bad overseas? It should not be that bad overseas. It was
So
a
I
European
think they,
fucking
like I
spread.
said, I wouldn't say go so far as to say it was an intentional thing. At the actual release of it may or may not be the
See, I
case.
think
don't.
it was.
It
I
may
feel
very
like it
well
was
be,
kinda.
but I don't want to you know, be 100% on something like that, because that.
Oh
you know,
no,
you
I'm not
never know.
100%, but I have a pretty good feeling that it was in
It
order
could have
to
been.
become the world leader.
Yeah. But certainly once it was released, they did all sorts of shit to make sure that it hit everybody else harder than it hit them. So I mean,
Maybe.
one of these days, I think the evidence is going to come out for that.
Yeah,
and
one of these days is a
we're
great
gonna
time
hold
of
them
year,
to
isn't
account.
it?
Oh wow, that's a lot of them.
I mean, maybe, but I'm just gonna wait and see because I'm not gonna take my flag into anything that has not that much
I'm
evidence.
just saying that if you added up like what's going on like with this thing, you actually have a higher risk of getting involved in a car accident and dying than you do dying from this. So, I mean, we don't shut down the world. This is the only time that we've ever shut down the world for a pandemic. Usually, the
because
story is like we've had plenty of
pandemics.
pandemics.
Far, though. Ebola
But we
never got
have.
this far.
No,
Not Ebola, but we had with the Spanish
SARS never got this
flu.
far.
I mean, we barely,
SARS actually did get this far. SARS infected 22 million Americans.
Yeah, SARS was bad.
But I don't think SARS
The
was
thing
as
is,
deadly
this,
as COVID.
it's not. But we don't know if it is as deadly because we don't have the tests to actually
I
test
know,
just
yeah,
random
that's-
people.
Yeah, that's.
And that
unfortunate
everybody
thing is
freaks
that, yeah.
out with the rising positive cases, but the positive cases don't mean, you know, more deaths are going to occur. That just means more people got infected. The thing is, though, is that the normal process, even the powers granted to the states regarding pandemics, are isolation and quarantine of the people that are likely infected or that are actually high at risk, not the entire population. We have never done this, even during the big outbreak of the Spanish flu, like shut down the whole entire U.S. economy and everything else and kept everybody inside their home. We just quarantined the sick and elderly or the immunocompromised and let, you know, the other people develop herd immunity.
Right.
Yeah, well, Spanish flu. And
The problem is nowadays we want to fucking sterilize everybody and make them fucking docile, pretty much.
I think this right here is to practice run socialism and communism to see what they can get away with and how many of your rights they can take away without you complaining.
Yeah, it could very
well
well be.
Because this shit started like they were like I don't know how many of you guys kept up with Louis Rossman, but they were fighting right to repair and so many other things, and like they went really hard as soon as everybody went on quarantine, but we still won that fight because people did not care. They left their houses just to fight it. They didn't care.
Well, they're ticketing people and actually arresting people for having drive-in church services, not even getting out of their own cars, but actually sitting in their own car and listening to a loudspeaker and having, you know, Easter service that way.
Hey,
They were
Brimstone, you're
ticketing
turning
people and
into a
arresting
mutant,
people for
dog.
that.
You're turning
Yeah.
into a mutant.
Your fucking colors all whacked out.
he's going Super Saiyan Call of Duty.
Oh, there it goes. That was funny.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
said,
know.
I'm getting
There's
more
a
evidence.
lot of things about this that are weird or
There's too
odd.
much-
It doesn't make a lot of things that don't make sense.
Don't make
It's
sense.
fucking planned, dude.
Yep.
There's something about it is just planned.
Or not.
And I really think that
if not planned, then at least taken advantage of.
Oh yeah.
I think the media. I think the U.S. media and the Democrats are doing whatever they can to try to keep this going as long as they possibly can to hurt Trump's re-election chances because of the economy.
Oh yeah, I
Because
can totally
there's-
see that.
You know what's funny? If they stop as soon as like he loses, it'll be all the proof we need.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I honestly think once you see that these, like our state's opening back up slowly starting May 1st, Texas is opening up, I think, tomorrow. Florida opened up a portion of it. I think once you start seeing these certain states open up back up, you'll start seeing the economy going back up again because a lot of these people, even Democrats, want to get back out and work. They don't want to sit on their ass and.
I know. I want to fucking work. I mean, I've enjoyed my month, but I need money, dude.
Yeah.
I would love
I
to
haven't
go back
gotten
to
my
the
government
job
money
that
from
I just got.
I just don't want to see. I just don't want to see things coming back up, dude. I really don't.
Well, I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how much we stay at home, this virus isn't going away.
Right.
Like the virus is going to be here. We're going to have to deal with the death rate sooner or later. Like you're still going to have the same amount of deaths. It's either we're going to have them all right now, or we're going to have them over an extended period of time because of the flattening of the curve. It just basically extends the curve.
Right, which is hey, fair enough. That's a good thing to do because you don't want to overwhelm the
Well, yeah, I
system.
can agree with that. But I mean, it's not like you're going to have less deaths.
Right, and it's already been done. We've flattened the curve about as
bed.
much as we're going to be able to.
Yeah, we actually shut down a hospital here. We actually closed a hospital, sent nurses and doctors home, and put them on call because their hospital just was not even being used.
Right.
So I mean, we've done everything that we can. So I mean, at this point, I think we need to reopen the economy, see what happens, and then deal with it as it comes. If it starts to overwhelm the hospitals, then okay, then let's talk about it. But parts of the country that really aren't affected,
or at the very least, let everything reopen, but keep the same restrictions where any business that can do it, do curbside service, keep social distancing regulations in place. Like there's things you can do without completely shutting down the economy. That'll allow
there's absolutely no reason to completely shut everything down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
there was no reason in the beginning, anyways.
Well, no, but I mean I mean, if you look at Dr. Fauci, like even I think about a year before Trump ever became in office, he actually said that Trump would be dealing with a pandemic. It was really weird because how do you know this, and how do you how can you foresee this? But then he was also in late February saying Americans had nothing to worry about. So it's really weird. Like now he's the one advising the president. I mean, he's doing it from
an advisor that's been there forever. He's been there for every other administration.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I still think that he's getting advice based on the medical community. But the thing is, though, is if they're not looking at the actual ramifications of an actual bad economy, with 22 million people out of work, suicide rates are going to go up. Starvation rates are going to go up. Domestic violence, homelessness.
I mean, there are people
child abuse,
shanking people as soon as they walk out of Walmart, dude.
Well, I'll just put it this way: in my Walmart, I mean, we have it's not really the greatest part of town, but it's the one that closest to our neighborhood. So we drive there. Since this happened, I mean, we've had a shooting there, and then somebody else go after a woman, go in there after a woman with a knife. And had to have the cop come in there and get him or whatever. We had somebody in front of a Dollar General wielding a hatchet, trying to take people's stuff away. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. The more and more people are out without a work and no money coming in for food.
Getting desperate, yeah.
Because
you know what's funny? You know what's funny is I got my stimulus at least, so thank God I got some money. But there are people that are like, I'm gonna go buy a flat screen. I'm gonna go buy this expensive thing before someone else gets it. And the first thing I've been saying this entire time is you're a fucking idiot. Save it for food. You know your bank's gonna want their handout for your fucking money every month for your monthly bill.
If you're one of the ones that. If you're one of the ones that were affected by being without a job or very limited with hours because of the curbside service or whatever, I would agree. But we got ours, and my wife hasn't stopped working since they just basically told her to work from home. She works for an insurance company, and I get my disability, and so I mean ours was basically just free money. So what we did is we fixed our car. We bought a few things for the house that we, been wanting, and then we got her a PS4.
Oh, yeah, you're one of the lucky ones.
I definitely consider myself lucky. But the thing is, I'm advocating for all these people that aren't as lucky as us. I'm not like one of these journalists that actually still have a job and live in their cushy homes, and then saying, "Oh no, we need to shut this down." No, that's wrong to people.
Yep.
It's just so much.
I don't know, man. It is what it is.
I honestly think that we shouldn't have shut it down the way we did. We should have just done a soft kind of.
Yeah, it should have been just restrictions. Social distancing.
Just social distancing, then trying to keep life as normal as possible.
Curbside service for any business that can do it, shit like that. That would have.
Here's the thing: people who can work from home should be working from home anyways.
Yeah.
Unless you're a person like me who has to be in the building to do their job.
I don't care. If I had a job where I could work from home, I would do it.
No doubt. If doing what I do on the side, if that was my main job, I'd be fine. But I'd still be out there just like Rambo, being like, yo, you shouldn't be shutting down the whole country. There are people that need to eat.
Well, I feel bad for all the people that are affected personally with this. I mean, like, cause they didn't ask for it, and the government isn't doing what they're enough. $1,200 isn't enough.
It's
No.
not enough.
No, yeah.
Not even.
And I
like,
understand. Like we got like 3,900 because of our kids or whatever. But if you're a single person or even just one married person, $2,400 isn't really enough to cover your bills and your food.
Yeah, that's not going to last very long. You know,
Especially,
that's
especially
a month,
people
maybe.
who are especially people like who are in my situation who haven't even gotten their unemployment yet. No matter
Not
how
I just think.
everybody.
I mean,
even though
I think the unemployment. I think the
Okay.
unemployment thing was wrong. Like I like the idea of guaranteeing the unemployment for up to 4 months or whatever, but I don't like the idea of adding $600 on top of the unemployment, because you're talking about close to $1,000 a week, and that's $25 an hour. Who the hell's gonna go back to work after that 4 months to make it $25 an hour? They're like, shit, I'm not. They might be open, but I'm not applying.
You're not wrong, but my ass will still go because I'm thinking about the long run. I play the long
Well,
game.
I'm hoping. I hope. I mean, but you know how much abuse is in these type of systems.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know. I'm one of the ones that.
I think what you should have done when you applied for unemployment is you should have provided some of your paycheck, like to the 2 most recent paycheck stubs, and then you got a weekly salary, a weekly unemployment check, and on the average of the last 2 paycheck stubs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And maybe add a couple,
And
like $100
Yeah.
a week to that. Or
Maybe
something.
I can
But-
go. I
I
can
mean,
get
I
behind
only-
that, but not $600 on. Not making it 900, but basically $935 a week.
Right.
Like that's
Here's the
that's
thing.
outrageous.
Because here's the thing, I only make like $10 an hour, and I make almost 1,000 in a month. So like getting paid like $400 every week, like I normally do, would be fine for me. I can live on that bit. I know how to live on
Well,
like,
I mean,
little,
I see, I
little
think-
amounts of
I
money here
honestly-
and there.
I think they should have actually, like what Pete said, is like given y'all, because they forced y'all out of unemployment. They should have
Yeah, they
given y'all at least
basically
about
forced us.
basically $100-200 more a week.
Yeah,
But
they
not-
do, like,
not cl-
about 200.
They're giving you
200 a
almost
week.
600.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're almost going to be giving you $600 more a week than what you were,
Well, then what we're
even
getting,
making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
And,
what you're
I
talking
mean,
about, like, who
Pete-
wants to go back to work?
People with good work ethics will want to, and people that are honest will want to go back to work and get back to their own life. But there's going to be a lot of people that take advantage of this situation, and
Right.
every one of us are paying for that. Those people that are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, all our tax money is going to their dumbass.
Yeah. I just think they should have done a little bit more targeted approach with the unemployment, because that blanket, guaranteed 4 months, $600 more. I mean, you're just asking for it to be rife with corruption and
Abuse,
shit like that.
yeah.
I mean, abuse and corruption. Yeah, you just need I think it should have been a little bit more targeted.
Yeah.
We should have had a better system, and hopefully next time some dumb shit like this never has to
Well, I just
happen.
hope it doesn't happen.
We can call it out and be like, hey,
I'm
we
just
should be
glad-
doing this.
I'm glad that Trump pulled the funding from the WHO until we
Oh,
can get to
yeah.
the bottom of this, because they're the ones who caused all this. Them in China.
Yep.
If they had been honest from the start, we could have actually done a whole lot more.
I
The
think
world
that-
could have done a whole lot more.
And the funny thing is I love how they're trying to blame Trump, saying that like, oh well, he played it off as being no big deal. I'm like, no,
No.
like he was relaying the same message that China was. China was
Well, that
saying
was the
that
thing.
wasn't that big of a deal, that we're gonna be okay. Like,
First, they accused him
As they were
of
buying our
being too
fucking
hard
stuff.
on China, and now they're accusing
Yeah.
him of not going hard enough. It's like, wait, what?
Like, you can't have it both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And what I don't
crazy
understand
shit.
though is like that. I mean, whenever he was on TV and saying, this is, it's going to go away, and I'm being very optimistic. His job as a leader is to be the leader of the country is to remain calm and to keep everybody calm. If he would have said, "We're going to have millions of Americans die,"
Millions
we're
will
going to.
die.
Could you imagine what the United States would have done? Like if he would have, said, "Everybody remain crazy," like that. He needed to keep people calm. He needed to be reassuring.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he was still doing stuff like shutting down travel from China and all this stuff like that. Like he was doing what he could under,
Let's go eat in Chinatown, guys. This is why I don't like fucking Elizabeth.
As if that has anything to do with anything. Like, God, what a blatant fucking conflagration of things that have nothing to do with each other. It's like, yes, the virus came from China, but what does that have to do with Chinatown in the U.S.? Like, Ugh. But all right, I'm actually starting to drop frames really bad. I think my internet's kind of. I think there's some kind of time limit or bandwidth limit per time with Comcast, and it's fucking up. And I don't even know if it's still going. So I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. If you can even fucking hear me, because you're all frozen. So anyway, if anybody's still hearing me, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see y'all fucking next time. Peace out.